amazing drug rehabilitation centre. And I've got to play through all of these. I'm really sorry because the computer has crashed. Hang on. So that's that one. Be with you in a second, Simon. Oh, crying out loud. Nope, the computer's crashed, so we're going to go into the news like this. Da 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 da.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: Hertfordshire family campaign against jail sentence, Cameron's speech on extremism, and Beds police highlight protection order.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The family of a Hertfordshire man convicted of causing his son serious physical harm is protesting his innocence. 34-year-old Matthew Chalice from Bishop Stortford began a 3-year prison sentence earlier this month. His friends have started a petition against his conviction, which they plan to present to David Cameron and the Justice Minister Mike Penning. More from Ollie Bayliss. Sorry, we don't seem to be able to bring you that report. David Cameron will vow to tackle failures of integration when he unveils a 5-year plan to combat homegrown Islamist extremism. In a speech in Birmingham later, he will argue that the root cause of radicalisation must be tackled. The Prime Minister has suggested that he could soon seek Parliament's approval to extend UK military airstrikes against so-called Islamic State from Iraq to Syria. Police in Bedfordshire have seized a large number of motorbikes and quad bikes and arrested a number of people in a major operation involving the police helicopter yesterday. The riders were seen driving dangerously in the Caxton Road area of Bedford just after midday. Officers tracked the riders, who made their way along the A6 and the A421 towards Milton Keynes, as well as the A1 at Sandy. A body has been found by search teams in the wreckage of a wood mill which was destroyed by explosions and a fire on Friday. 3 other staff from the site in Cheshire are still missing. The first protection order to prevent female genital mutilation has been secured by Bedfordshire Police. It prevents the travel of 2 young girls who police believe may be at risk of being taken to Africa for the procedure. More from Carol Abercrombie. Again, apologies not able to bring you that report. A 34-year-old man will appear in court later this morning, charged with stabbing a pensioner to death after a minor road accident in West Sussex. Don Locke, who was 79, died after the attack last Thursday. Around 30 firefighters tackled a large blaze in a field in Hertfordshire yesterday afternoon. They were called to Rousebarn Lane in Croxley Green, where 1.5 square miles of corn was alight. In sport, England captain Alistair Cook says yesterday's 405-run defeat by Australia at Lords was not acceptable. Irish amateur Paul Dunn, who qualified at Woburn, is the joint leader of the Open Golf going into today's final round at St Andrews. And Watford rounded off their pre-season trip to Germany yesterday with a 2-0 win over Paderborn, with goals from Matej Vidra and Odion Igalo. The weather: cloudy with some patchy rain this morning, some sunny intervals this afternoon, feeling warm and humid, a maximum temperature 25 degrees Celsius. And you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
What's going on, Oxley?
Well, what it was, you see, because you ever ran at the start, I thought I'd miss out all the audio, so I'd catch it at the time.
Also, I don't know what's happened. Is the war begun? I'm declaring war, by the way.
It's nice to have the lights on. Justin did it with the lights off.
Oh, Justin's a weirdo. You're distorting a bit in my ears. I don't know if that's you. You're going into what I like to call the red on the... Can you hear that, Catherine?
Well, I couldn't see it on my display here. This is the problem, so I don't know whether he's actually doing it or just in your mind.
Simon's the equivalent of The Who in 1973, or let's think of a modern equivalent, Kanye West. You're like Kanye West.
Oh.
Loud, proud.
Only not swearing quite as much.
Not swearing quite
not
so
yet,
much.
anyway.
Well, fingers crossed my buttons work, Simon. Let's, nope. Let's try again. Nope. Try again. Nope. Try again. Nope. 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 Nope, nope. OK, right, great, welcome, guys.
Your mouth works though, right?
My mouth works, and so does this.
It's nice to be nice, as my mother once said. It's good to be good, and it's fun to be fun. It's nice to be nice, as no other would say. It's good to be good, and it's fun to be fun. fun. It's nice to be nice. Ooh. It's nice to be nice. Ooh. When you see a smile that's painted on you now, and did you hear about so-and-so leaving that trail of sorrow? It's nice to be nice. Ooh. It's nice to be nice, as my mother once said. It's good to be good, and it's fun to be fun. It's nice to be nice, as no other would say. It's good to be good, and it's fun to be fun. It's nice to be nice. Ooh. It's nice to be nice. Nice to be. When you see a smile that's painted on you now, and did you hear about so-and-so leaving that trail of sorrow? It's nice to be nice. To be nice to be. It's nice to be nice. To be nice to be. It's nice to be nice, as my mother once said. It's good to be good, and it's fun to be fun.
Okay, that's Pugwash. The lovely, I can't remember Pugwash's name. Thomas. Big fella, got a beard. Thomas Walsh. Now, fingers crossed, this is going to work.
Yes.
No, but don't get too excited, because the thing is, will this work? No, that one doesn't work. Button A, guys, button A. I can stop that, and it's button A. It all comes down to button A, and I can't. Geek out for a second, guys. It all comes down to button A, and I can't transfer anything I want to button B. It's just kind of random on the veranda.
Okay, so you can have every other jingle.
Great to see you.
Yeah.
This morning, two big things. 03459 455 555. Is that us?
Well
okay,
done.
great. That's good. People who aren't that special. People who are nothing special. People who are nothing special. I was watching. I started watching the Iron Man 3 yesterday, and 20 minutes into it, I thought, I don't think I've seen the Iron Man 2. So I went back and watched the Iron Man 2, and then I watched the Iron Man 3. 4 hours of the Iron Man. And I thoroughly enjoyed the movies. Great movies. Even Iron Man 2, which many people dislike. I found it thoroughly enjoyable.
Some good set pieces, 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. I thought the casting of Mickey Rourke as a Mad Russian was really brave. Gwyneth Paltrow's nothing special. To look at or to watch acting. She's nothing special. She's not that pretty. She's not that good an actor.
I think she's quite good.
No.
And I don't like myself for saying that, because I want to not like her.
What have you seen her in where she's
I
actually
thought she was good in Sliding Doors.
I've not seen that. And do you know why I've not watched Sliding Doors? Because it was directed by Joey from Bread.
She was good in that.
Peter Howitt.
She was one of the first, Americans who can do British accents. There aren't very many.
I do know.
There aren't very many. She did quite a good one. She was before Renee Zellweger did it. But they tend to go posh, don't they?
I pronounce the W as a V.
Do you?
Renee Zellweger. It's just me.
Why don't you say Zellweger?
Zellweger! Renee Zellweger is putting on the weight to make another Bridget Jones diary in the pants.
Yeah, but she was slightly too posh for that, wasn't she?
Also, Idris Elba's nothing special.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come
now.
on.
We're almost quoting a Gary Glitter song. We have to be careful these days. Also, Martin Freeman. He's just a bloke with a bloke's courage. He's just a bloke.
But that's the point.
Nice bloke. Met him.
That's
Lovely
the
bloke.
strength. That and the sideways eyes.
Yeah, that's right. I've met Martin Freeman, Kels. Met Martin Freeman,
She
the
doesn't
actor.
know who Martin Freeman is.
No, he's nothing special. 03459 455 555 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Or 81333. Start your text 3CR. People who are nothing special. I've got something else for this hour as well. But we'll get to that in a bit because I want to do this rather serious story. And then I want to moan about the computer again.
Okay, I'm glad you got a to-do list. Maybe keep it in your head until you do it.
Okay. I would play a stab, but... Relatives of a Hertfordshire man jailed for shaking his baby son to death?
No, he harmed him.
He
by
harmed him.
shaking
Okay,
him.
thank you.
I just thought that sounded more. That's more what it was than causing his baby son physical harm.
Okay, are fighting to overturn his sentence. Earlier this month, 34-year-old Matthew Chalice from Bishop Stortford was given 3 years for causing the boy serious physical harm. His family and friends plan to take a petition to Westminster. Catherine, what happened?
The scaffolder, this is Matthew Chalice, had pleaded not guilty to causing a child to suffer serious physical harm on March the 19th, 2013, at an address in Stansted, Mount Fitchett, but he was convicted by a jury of shaking the 4-month-old after a trial at Chelmsford Crown Court. Earlier this month, he was jailed at Woolwich Crown Court by one of the country's top judges, Mr Justice Singh. Now, this conviction also means that Matthew is likely to have very restricted access to his son and daughter, there's another child, after release from prison. It's understood that Chalice intends to appeal against the conviction.
And unusually, the judge allowed the son to be identified.
Yeah, at the same time as sentencing him, the judge lifted a ban on reporting the identity and relationship of the child, Ollie, to Chalice. The judge relented after a submission from Ollie's mother, whose name is Danielle Moss. Now, she said, "It's in the best interest of my son that people should be allowed to know that I and my family believe that Matthew Chalice did not cause Ollie harm." She added that Ollie, now a happy and healthy 2.5-year-old, would benefit from knowing that I supported his father and believed in his innocence. Now, after hearing the application for the restrictions to be lifted, the judge said that he'd had to change his mind because he now knew the mother's views, and he'd been informed that the relationship was already known and being talked about on the internet, including Facebook. So the information was already out there.
What else did the judge have to say?
He said that there appear to be no longer-term consequences for Ollie's development, and thankfully he's been able to recover fairly soon after being admitted to hospital. The court heard that the child's prognosis was good and that he achieved developmental milestones consistent with no damage having been caused. After the injury, he was kept in hospital for 6 days. No medical intervention was necessary. However, the judge told Chalice, who'd been living near Ware, that it had to be an immediate prison sentence. He said the jury's verdict made it clear that the 12 were persuaded that he'd deliberately shaken Ollie, causing a subdural bleed on the brain. Apparently, the child had had a fit. This is why he ended up being taken to hospital.
And what did Chalice say in his defence?
The prosecution had claimed that Ollie was shaken by... The prosecution had said that Ollie was being shaken by Chalice while he was in his dad's sole care, and that the shaking had caused the baby to suffer a fit or seizure and a bleed over the brain. Chalice claimed that the infant suffered a sudden fit out of the blue while he was changing his nappy. He denied losing his temper or shaking the baby. Mitigating, Matthew Pardo said Chalice had turned his life around after left prison for a drug offence imposed in 2008. He'd been working hard, he'd been determined to keep a close relationship going with Ollie and saw him regularly under supervision by a grandmother. He also said that Ollie is growing up to be a young boy who's a happy, contented child. These proceedings have taken over 2 years and Chalice has lived with that, as has his family. And we'll be speaking to Ollie's mum, Danielle Moss, later on in the programme about why she thinks her former partner is innocent.
I'm going to try this. Oh, sweet Lord!
Morning feels so bad. Everybody seems to nag me. Coming Tuesday, I feel better. Even my old man looks good. Wednesday just don't go. Thursday goes too slow. I have Friday on my mind. Gonna have fun in the city. Be with my girl, she's so pretty. She looks fine tonight. She's outside to me. I spent my friend tonight. I leave my head. There was nothing else that was me. More than working for the rich man. Hey, I'll change that scene one day. Today I might be mad. Tomorrow I'll be glad. 'Cause I'm not Friday on my mind. I'm gonna have fun in my city. Be with my girl, she's so pretty. She looks fine tonight. She goes side to me. Tonight, I'm in my bed. Tonight, I'm in my head. Tonight, I've got to get tonight. Monday I'll have Friday on my mind. Gonna have fun in my city. I'll be with my girl, she's so pretty. I'm gonna have fun in my city.
Your BBC. The cuts have already started. In that none of this studio actually works. Morning, guys. Ian Lee, BBC, Three Counties Radio. People who are nothing special. It would appear that I could be included in that list this morning, and I'm happy to take that. 03459 455 555. Do you know what? This is a genuine question. Do I do the news first or the travel first? I have completely forgotten.
Travel.
Let's have a go.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Well, starting off in Milton Keynes, do expect some delays on Standing Way just at the Kingston roundabout as some roadworks are taking place there. The M1, a lane still closed off for roadworks heading between junction 12 for Flitwick and junction 11 for Dunstable Road, so do expect it to build up there as well. Checking on the A414, that seems to be moving well so far this morning, not seeing any problems or delays, and everything's running well on the trains. I'm Nicola Richards with BBC Three Counties Radio.
Right, 6:17. Things are slowly working back into place. It's Monday, the 20th of July. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. The family of a Hertfordshire man convicted of causing his son serious physical harm is protesting his innocence. David Cameron will vow to tackle failures of integration when he unveils a 5-year plan to combat homegrown Islamist extremism. And police seized a large number of motorbikes and quad bikes and arrested a number of people near Bedford yesterday.
Good morning, it's 6 o'clock.
For waking us up
The headlines, elderly care
and getting us going.
I'm listening all week, yeah.
Here it comes, baby.
For making us laugh. And making us cry.
You wouldn't wish it on anyone.
For expanding our minds.
We're going to take a walk through Luton, holding hands, see if anything happens.
And broadening our horizons.
But if my liver's literally not hanging off on its last threads, then...
You can up your drinking.
For all of our hopes.
You can be sure that I'll never ever forget you. Your very loving husband, John. And I leave that on there. She might read it, I don't know.
And our dreams.
Watford are promoted to the Premier League.
The final whistle goes at Stadium MK. The Dons are in the Championship.
For not just listening, but living it too.
I think Tim needs to go to Watermead.
Where?
Watermead.
For all of us. BBC Three Counties Radio.
Yesterday had nothing to say. Tomorrow may bring me a thought. Today was here, now it's turned into fear. If it's with you, then I should stay. Sit and wonder why I'm leaving. Sit and wonder if you'll call. Sit and wonder why
So this is my idea, okay? Round the corner...
Careful.
Milk lemonade. Round the corner, chocolate's made.
That's not a programme.
It could be.
That's a life truth.
Great to have you back, Kels.
Thanks, Claire.
So round the corner at our new studios is like a little band section for when when you do the BBC introducing, bands want to come in and do like a live sesh, or if Coffin wants to get band in for a live sesh, they do a live sesh there. So I was thinking one day we get like a band in, like a good band, and when I say good, I don't mean like good. I mean that knows loads of songs, and then people can just rock up, and they can do karaoke. Live on the radio with the band live. So you need a band that knows like every song in the world, right?
A wedding band.
You need a wedding band. So if you're a wedding band, I've meant to talk to you this off air. We'll do it on air. If you're a wedding band and you know like every song in the world, and
every song that people know words to, so you don't need to know every song. It'll be the same old songs.
03459 455 555 or ian.lee@bbc.co.uk. And then what we do is we have the doors open at the back, right? And people could just rock up and they go, it's like 7:20. Go, I don't suppose you know any Stevie Wonder, do you? Yeah, we do. Oh, I'll do that then.
1 2 1 2.
And then they do that.
Oh,
Wouldn't that
I
be
love
awesome?
it.
Live karaoke with a live band. Dealey, what do you reckon to that, geezer?
I reckon that is a fantastic idea. Well and truly up for that one. But there's got to be some sort of song control over this. I mean, you can't just turn up and sing anything. We want pure quality, don't we? Like Stevie Wonder, like Michael Jackson, and maybe Russ Abbott.
Yeah, he did that on Friday.
I heard, and I've sent an email. Well, if people want to come and they want to sing Kanye West, then they can sing Kanye West.
Oh yeah.
As long as they self-bleep.
Yeah, exactly. No sweary songs. But they come in and do. I want to do a Beatles song. Beautiful. Away you go, fella. Just get up and do it. No quality control. No audition. Nothing.
Yeah, but the worst thing is no booze. So I don't know whether we'll get anyone to sing.
Who said anything about no booze?
Oh.
Hey, you see, you like my style.
Oh, we are quite near Wetherspoons, aren't we?
Exactly. They can do us a deal. Now, Justin, people who are nothing special. So far, we've got. I was watching the Iron Man, the second and third parts of the Iron Man trilogy, and Gwyneth Paltrow. I thought she's nothing special to look at, and she's certainly nothing special as an actress. Wow. She's nothing special. Idris Elba, nothing special. I'm going to say it. Benedict Cumberbatch, he's nothing special.
I think he's quite a good actor.
He's got the eyes of... I won't say it. Martin Freeman. He's nothing special.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
You know what he is? The nephew
Nothing
of someone special.
No, yeah, exactly.
I've taken this one to the streets already.
Oh, man.
And I can assure you that it's already got very tense out there. It's already kicked off.
Yeah.
One person came up with a suggestion which I found absolutely outrageous.
Ooh.
Years ago, they would have been beheaded for views like this.
Well, careful.
You will hear that before 7.
Well, in some parts of the world, that may still be a thing. Right, 03459 455 555. Justin, are you ready now to do this story?
I'm ready to rock, boss.
Let's go for it. A St Albans woman says she has no regrets about throwing another dog walker's belongings into a river. This is the first time I've read it. I mean, gosh. Sian Moles spotted the woman using a control shock collar on her Basset Hound puppy. That's those collars that give the bzz, bzz. So she gave her a mouthful, grabbed the remote control and chucked it in the river. Is this true, Just? What happened? Just?
Oh, Justin.
Do you want to do Justin's bit?
Yeah, I'll have to come and sit on your lap. I can't read it.
Well, thanks, Just.
Hang on.
I can print it.
We haven't got much time. I mean, you go and do it in there. Go on, girl.
Oh, ignore the sound of the printer then.
She can just read it off the screen, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but just ignore that
Okay.
bit.
So, Justin, what happened?
Well, right, hang on. Sian Moles, who we'll hear from later on in the programme, was walking her Labrador at Redbournebury Mill, which you may be familiar with. It's near Hemel Hempstead.
I've never heard of it.
Pretend you do. She noticed
I'm not really that local, to be honest.
She noticed someone else walking their dog, and to her eyes, the dog looked to be in distress. Now, according to her, another dog woman, a dog walker, I think she means,
dog woman,
was walking a young Basset Hound and was using this electric shock collar to control it. In Sian's view, the dog was terrified at being shocked regularly for seemingly very little reason. So she confronted the owner, who dismissed her concerns. Things got heated, and Sian admits grabbing the small black remote control and chucking it in the river. The woman then took a picture of Sian with a camera phone and said that she was going to take it to the police.
Yeah, good. These collars, they just give electric shock if dog does poo-poo or wee-wee when it's not meant to, if it humps leg.
Well, if it does things you don't want it to. They're sold as a training device. They fit on the dog like a regular collar, but they come with a remote device that allows the owner to trigger an electric shock to the animal at the press of a button. That's what remote controls do. They're designed to give a dog a mild level of pain or discomfort, which may serve as a warning.
Sorry,
Are they legal?
no,
is the
sorry.
question.
I can just hear Kelly's leather
No,
squeaking.
she's crunching.
He's crunching. Well, they are legal. I know that.
They are illegal in all of the UK except Wales.
They are legal. It sounded like you said illegal. They are legal.
They are legal
Yep.
in all of the UK except Wales, where they've been banned. Their use in Wales can carry a £20,000 fine or a 6-month prison sentence.
Good.
There are several campaigns to see them banned in the UK, with many believing they are cruel.
Disgusting.
And most organisations are against them, though.
Disgusting.
Including the Kennel Club.
Disgusting things to use. On a serious note, from a man who's considering getting a dog and whose Benji died last week.
Oh no.
Benji died last week.
rabbit.
Yeah, the rabbit. The rabbit died. We went away on holiday. This is genuinely really sad. My boys were so distraught.
Yeah.
We went away on holiday, and the nurse, the veterinary nurse, who we were paying to come and feed the animals, on the second day she phoned up. I thought she was going to say that Velvet had died, because Velvet is very, very old cat.
The cat.
Yeah, the old cat. Thank you for filling in the blanks.
Well, it's just that not everyone's familiar with your family names.
And she said that Benji had died.
The rabbit.
The rabbit had died.
How though?
Short breath.
No, he had like a swollen stomach. So I'm guessing maybe there was some like toxic mushroom or something growing underneath his.
Did you quickly replace it before the boys got back?
I would never replace. I would never replace
Not
a dead
again?
rabbit. Sorry.
Not.
No, we told the boys. And they were distraught. And it was horrible. It was horrible.
Oh,
It was horrible. My eldest, my youngest is going, well, is he a skeleton now? No. What does he look like?
Wow.
He still looks like Benji. Can you get a picture of him dead? That's unlikely. But what, is he a skeleton? No, he's not a skeleton. He's just dead. Stop talking to me about it. But the other one was, I was so upset. It was horrible.
Anyway.
What's that got to do with Razor?
It's your fitness to look after animals.
That's it. No, you should not be allowed to have these awful electric shock collars. 03459 455 555.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Well, starting to build up now on the M25, heading anti-clockwise between junction 21 for the M1 and junction 19 at Watford. So far, checking on the M1 seems to be moving quite well, not seeing any major problems or delays. Also, the A414, that seems to be moving quite freely on the sensors. In Milton Keynes, do expect delays on Newport Road, just at the Kingston roundabout, as those roadworks continue there. And on the trains, not seeing any problems or delays to report so far this morning. I'm Nicola Richards with BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 6:30. I'm Simon Oxley. The family of a Hertfordshire man convicted of causing his son serious physical harm is protesting his innocence. 34-year-old Matthew Chalice from Bishop Stortford began a 3-year prison sentence earlier this month. David Cameron will vow to tackle failures of integration when he unveils a 5-year plan to combat homegrown Islamist extremism. In a speech in Birmingham later, he will argue that the root causes of radicalisation must be tackled. And police seized a large number of motorbikes and quad bikes and arrested a number of people near Bedford yesterday. On to sport. England captain Alistair Cook says yesterday's 405-run defeat by Australia at Lords was not acceptable. It was England's third heaviest defeat ever in runs and their worst since 1948, after Cook's side were bowled out for just 103. In golf, Irish amateur Paul Dunne is the joint leader of the Open going into today's final round at St Andrews. Only the second Monday finish in 155 years. Dunne is joined on 12 under by former winner Louis Oosthuizen and Australia's Jason Day, with Jordan Spieth one shot behind. Irishman Dunne qualified for St Andrews at Woburn. On to football. Watford rounded off their pre-season trip to Germany yesterday with a 2-0 win over Paderborn, with goals from Matteo Vidra and Odio Nagalo. Also yesterday, Boreham Wood lost 3-0 at home to Brentford. Tonight, MK Dons go to Chesham and Luton are at Gosport. And in tennis, Andy Murray has taken Britain to a first Davis Cup semi-final in 34 years after victory over France at Queen's Club, with Murray clinching the win by beating Gilles Simon in 4 sets. Murray Italy and Britain will face Australia in the semi-finals in September. BBC Three Counties News and Sport. More at 7.
Well, you say more. You say more. Simon, what was the name? Was it tennis, the last sport you were doing?
Tennis,
What was the name
yes.
of the gentleman's name?
Gilles Simon.
Okay. What's
Giles Simon.
That's him.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad. Can we help in any way? Do you want us to do sound effects? We've got
we
some...
could pretend to be Andy Murray.
We could do
couldn't you?
Murray. I could do Murray.
I'm Andy Murray, you know.
I like to play tennis. I'm frightened of my mum.
I'm Andy Murray. I've got a beautiful girlfriend.
Wife. It's my wife.
My wife, and I like to make love to her.
Well, we don't know that.
New balls, please. Oh, that's just childish.
Yes, that'll do.
Thank you very much, Simon. Well, you're very polite. Oh, well, I should be playing... I've got nothing. Nothing. Hang on, what does that do? Oh! No, okay. Hang on. Bish, bash, bosh. Boom, shakalaka.
This is Iain Lee.
On BBC Three Counties Radio.
Okay. What are you still here for, Simon? If you want to sit and fiddle with your computer,
see if I can make it work.
You sit and play with that. Don't worry. You can hang out with us. I can't see any of my little idents on the screen, so I'm just going blind. Oh. No offence. 03459 455 555. This morning we are asking people who are nothing special.
I've got one.
Go on.
The entire cast of Coronation Street. Or any soap. They're just people playing themselves, aren't they, largely?
The ones that have been there for a long time, yes. I'm going to dispute that slightly.
Go on, give me one famous soap actor who's actually good.
No. Someone who I've got a lot of respect for, who's just joined the Coronation Street cast, Sarah Harding.
Oh, no, come on.
Yes. Sarah Harding, formerly of the Girls Aloud, who once, in retrospect, was obviously chatting me up at a do. She was sat opposite me at a do.
Talking to you, so that's...
She was single, she was chatting me up, and I didn't pick up until later, and I thought, oh, no, she was bang up for it.
I hate Sarah Harding.
I
hate her because during my labour, I was watching Girls Aloud do...
Supposed to be impartial.
Girls Aloud do pony trekking or something.
Ooh.
Anyway, I can't remember, I was a little bit out of it. So the telly's on. I was in quite a lot of pain. It does smart quite a bit having a baby.
Yes.
And Sarah Harding's lying on the floor going, oh, I've hurt my... I'm thinking, you've hurt yours. You have no idea. So from then on, Sarah Harding is nothing to me.
One of the best programmes of all time is the Most Haunted Girls Aloud special.
Oh.
Have you seen that?
I saw most of the Most Haunted.
There's a haunted chair, right? One of them, I think the racist one, says to another one of them, I've got no idea which one, let's say the ginger one, go on then, sit in the haunted chair. No way! You effing sit in the effing haunted chair. Yeah.
Gosh.
Swearing and everything. So, people who are nothing special, 03459 455 555. And great, if you're ringing and we're not answering, keep ringing, because the phones have gone absolutely nuts on this one. I wanted to play as well...
If you say the number, it means there's a phone line...
Phone line free.
Free, so...
Copyright James O'Brien. I also would like to play a game. I'd like to play a game.
Oh, no, we're not playing that game again.
I want to play a game.
Oh.
You had your wits end. I want to play a game, but not that game. I'm not at my wits end. Food is not involved, and there is certainly nobody
holding
the door. Okay, it's got absolutely zero, nada, nish to do with that. But the game I'd like to play is, well, I don't know what the game I'd like to play is.
I think I do.
I'm saying rock, scissors, paper.
Kai, bai, bo.
Kai, bai, bo. That's the Korean version of it, but because I want to play rock, scissors, paper.
No, rock, paper, scissors. What are you?
Well, this is what people then said. No, it's rock, paper, scissors. But that doesn't roll off the tongue as well. And then some idiot said, no, it's paper, scissors, stone. What? Well, don't bring stones into it, for crying out loud. Dennis?
Yes?
What would you call it?
Call who? Look, I rang him because your programme kept breaking up and the previous programme kept breaking up.
Okay.
And I got worried because I've just had 24 hours in the L&D and I think I was breaking up.
I suppose this is the point where I'm supposed to ask you what you're in for, is it?
No, you don't need to. No, you don't need to. What I was going to say...
Am I close to winning my £10?
Yeah. No, well, I'd say they were a bit worried about that. But, no. Well, I was going to say...
You had to have an operation to prise open your wallet, did you?
No, lovely people in L&D.
Okay.
Even the food was good.
Well, that's marvellous. Back to the slightly more important issue. What's the correct title for rock, scissors, paper?
Okay, bye, bo.
Rock, scissors, paper. I don't know why. That's the way you do it. That's the way you play it. That's all I know.
But what's it actually called?
Insanity.
Okay. Do you fancy a quick round of Kai by ball? I'll go first. Kai.
Sorry?
Kai by ball. I'll go first. Ball.
Ball.
No, you can't do ball. Means it's the same thing, right? So we go 1, 2, 3, and we say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3, bye.
Ball.
Bye beats ball. Let's go again. 1, 2, 3, Kai.
My reaction is not very good this morning.
Come on, Dennis. Stop with the sob stories. 1, 2.
I'm not doing a sob story. I'm just saying how brilliant the L&D is.
1, 2, 3, Kai.
Kai.
Yeah, Kai beats Kai. 1, 2, 3, bye.
Sorry, you've
lost. Say Bo.
Say Bo.
I'll put the phone down.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea for everybody involved, I think. If you want to play Kai by ball, and you can tell us the correct name of rock, scissors, paper, then 03 459 455 555.
Piccadilly, Carnaby Street, swinging London, Marble Arch to Regent Street, swinging London, Hyde Park Corner, Leicester Square, swinging London, everywhere it's in the air, swinging London, Hyde Park Corner, Oxford Street, swinging London, Chelsea Strand and Baker Street, swinging London, Charing Cross, Trafalgar Square, swinging London, everywhere it's in the air, swinging London, Lambeth Walk and Battersea, Hammersmith on ITV, Humperdinck on BBC, going on and on, day and night long, swinging London, ding dong, ding dong, dong ding ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, dong ding ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Dong ding ding dong, ding dong ding dong, dong ding ding dong. Action movies, theatre news, swinging London, big production, soul and blues, swinging London, revolution underground, swinging London, groupies, hippies, tramps around, swinging London, kings of fashion, Mary Quants, swinging London, discotheques and restaurants, swinging London, striptease joints, casino pubs, swinging London, bingo halls and playboy clubs, swinging London, northern, east and south and west, Barney's pop is still the best, Riley Scott will never rest, going on and on, day and night long, swinging London, ding dong, ding dong, dong ding ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
03459 455 555. What is the correct way of saying rock,
Paper.
scissors?
Scissors.
So he's tying up literally tying up my loose ends there. It's kind of first day back. Great to have you back. Great to have you back, Jos.
Thanks, Claire.
And I'm just kind of feeling the vibe. I've got some big news I want to break, and I want to tell you guys on air because you are my friends. Okay?
You pregnant?
Well,
Explain.
It feels like it. Yeah, exactly. I made a really big decision on Saturday that affects my time here and how much time I've got left here. I have had to go up a waist size in my jean. Thank you, Simon.
You're saying one waist size?
It's working in there, apparently.
Well, good for him.
Simon.
Sorry.
You're welcome.
I said sorry.
We heard.
All of us doing a radio show with microphones. I've gone up a waist size.
Yeah.
I've had to go up to the large pant.
Oh.
I've gone from boxer to trunk. That was a mistake. My boys are not happy with that.
Why?
Because they're chafing. No, my plums.
Oh, right.
But I've gone up from a 34 waist trouser to a 36 waist trouser. Now, here's the thing, right? The 36 waist, much more comfortable. Look at that roomage I've got in the leg.
I don't want to look at you.
No. I've got more room around. My boys have got room.
Yep.
My thighs have got room. So there'll be, hopefully, I won't need to buy any more Savlon. It was
Just
tough
put
work.
some Savlon on and don't pick it.
Don't pick it, it'll never heal. But the waist is a little bit big. So I bought some experimental jeans from shop. I don't know if you've heard of it, The Gap.
The Gap.
They were on sale, $14.99.
They've got a big hole there.
They've been pre-aged. I pre-aged that. But I just feel that you should know that I have put on a lot of weight.
So what's this mean to us?
Sorry?
In real terms?
Well, obviously you're concerned.
Yeah.
That
this is supposed to have some sort of impact on us other than having been invited to look at your groin.
I don't want you to dump me because I'm fat. Right? And I don't want to be seen as your fat friend. All right? That's not me.
I've lost quite a lot of weight recently, so I look really good next to you now.
That is outrageous. What you're saying there is fat people
And
don't
I'm
look
tiny
good.
always. I haven't changed since
You're
I was
like the
11.
bridesmaid I was looking for when I got married, but
Okay, what I'm saying is I'd really like your support on...
You've got enough support with those new...
Oh, for crying out loud. I want to lose a little bit of weight, but not too much, because I spent 15 quid on these jeans. I don't want to waste that money. That would be stupid. And I spent 18 quid on pant. So, what I'm saying is, I just want to share this with you, that I've just put on a little bit of weight. I've gone up a size.
You want to share the weight?
My girth has increased.
You didn't need to tell us, because we can see...
Kelly Betts!
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Well, the M25 looking very slow moving at the moment, anti-clockwise, heading between junction 21 for the M1 and junction 19 at Watford. Also building up between 17 at Maple Cross and junction 16 for the M40. Take a look in Boreham Wood, it is queuing on the A1, heading southbound between the Holiday Inn and Stirling Corner, and also rather heavy on the A41, just heading northbound at the Dome roundabout. Checking in on the trains, not seeing any problems or delays so far this morning. I'm Nicola Richards with BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you very much, Nicola. 6:45. It's Monday, the 20th of July. I'm Iain Lee, and these are your headlines. The family of a Hertfordshire man convicted of causing his son serious physical harm is protesting his innocence. David Cameron will vow to tackle failures of integration when he unveils a 5-year plan to combat homegrown Islamist extremism. And police seized a large number of motorbikes and quad bikes and arrested a number of people near Bedford yesterday. Here's Kate with the Wev.
Beds, hearts and bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Good morning. We may have seen a brighter spell this morning, but they're not going to last if you do have it. Rather cloudy, I'm afraid. Some outbreaks of light rain and some drizzle throughout the day. It's feeling quite damp. We have some humid conditions working their way out from the southwest as well, so it is going to feel warm, just a little moist. We're looking at a maximum temperature today of around 25 Celsius. Now, there's a strong chance we could get maybe 1 or 2 breaks in the cloud this evening or towards the end of the afternoon into this evening, and that in turn could mean the temperatures spike a little higher. It also means we could get 1 or 2 showers developing as well into this evening and overnight. Eventually they will clear away though as that weather front clears eastwards as well. We'll see some fresher conditions, minimum 12 Celsius, but a sunny start tomorrow morning, more cloud tomorrow afternoon, mostly dry but a slim chance of a shower. Temperatures still pleasant at 23 Celsius. That's your forecast.
Treasure Quest on BBC Three Counties Radio.
I don't want this show to be censored. You've got a clean house.
Searching for the treasure.
So, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to text in whatever you want to me.
Searching for the treasure.
Sorry. Jive here.
Are you all right?
Searching for the treasure.
Gosh, I thought we were going to have our first live death.
Saturday mornings from 9.
I'm going to help the female section of the quiz this morning.
All Les will do is just not let you have... Part 2.
In a new feature, let's find out. Ernie, how are you in your big rubbery face?
It's a cross between Jack Pat. Hang on.
Treasure
Searching for the
Quest.
treasure.
Every Saturday morning from 9 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
For treasure. Steve's on line 2. Good morning, Steve.
Morning.
Good morning, Steve.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
Oh, you quick. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Steve. I'm waiting for the conversation to move on apace.
God. Well, you're going to have to get the builders into your offices to widen up the door frames for you to fit through.
Hmm?
And you might, if you get any fatter, you might have to get one of them slopes and a wheelchair ready. So our TV licence is going to go up now, isn't it?
I've only gone up. Fat people are funny. I've only gone up. I've only gone up to 36-inch waist.
Oh well, it's a slippery slope, mate. We all say that.
It's a greasy slope, full of chips.
Yeah, the greasy slope.
It's nice to hear you. It's nice to hear you enjoying a little bit of manly banter that's offensive about a different minority group.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Well, what about that? What about that fat woman that says she's entitled to all that money she's about?
What about her? Yeah.
Which fat woman?
Well then, oh, she's in the
Queen?
paper the other day. No, she's a Nazi, isn't she?
Yes, I think it's official.
That's the pot calling the kettle.
Hey, listen, nothing wrong with the Nazis, mate.
Thanks very much for calling, Steve. Thank you very much. Quite a bit wrong with the Nazis. I think we can all agree on that. Apart from Steve, and 5 points to Catherine for a quick mouth of the morning. Oh, I didn't mean it to sound like that.
Some sunny day, baby, when everything seems okay, baby, you wake up and find that you're alone, 'cause I'll be gone. Gone, really gone, 'cause you done me wrong. And everyone that you meet, baby, as you walk down the street, baby, will ask you why you're walking all alone and why you're on your own. And just say I'm gone, gone, 'cause you done me wrong. Oh, now come on, back to stay, baby. You better hurry up if you don't wanna be alone, or I'll be gone. Gone, really gone, 'cause you done me wrong. You done me wrong, sunny day, baby, when everything seems okay, baby, you wake up and find that you're alone, 'cause I'll be gone. Gone, really gone, 'cause you done me wrong, you done me wrong, you done me wrong.
So, Dealey, I'm putting on weight.
Well, I don't think you are, actually.
I've gone up a size.
No, mate, no. I'm not having that.
Do you want to see the baby?
Yeah, go on then.
I'll show you the baby.
Yeah. Go on. Yeah, but you know why? Because you're pushing that out, that's why.
There was no pushing
No,
there.
you were pushing it out, and you know you were.
There was no pushing
What's
there.
going on, boss? Come on, talk to me. Man to man.
Eating too much, not doing enough. Sexercise.
Do you fancy going boxing this week?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What, really? Really?
No,
boxing?
seriously, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for fitness purposes,
Yes.
yeah. Yes. From the odd dig, yes.
Oh, mano a mano, me and you?
Yeah, Wednesday evening.
Oh, I'm busy then.
Oh, okay. I thought you were serious about
What
this.
time?
I've got. What about yoga? You can come to yoga
Oh,
with
for
me
crying out
tonight.
loud. All yoga
You
does...
can come and play tennis with me tonight.
Right, okay. All yoga does is make you blow off.
No.
All tennis does is make you sound like Andy Money, but not away with his mind.
I can get my legs behind my head.
Still saying no?
I might pop along for a bit of that. Might pop along for a bit of that. It's all that tantric, though, isn't it?
It certainly is.
You
say it like it's a bad thing.
It's all that tantric stuff. So you say it starts 8 o'clock. I don't come until 10. By the time I get there, everyone else is finished. So, Justin.
Yeah.
You all right, Catherine?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're off next week. You don't care. People who are nothing special. There are so many people. Richard Hammond is nothing special.
Yeah, just a local radio presenter who got lucky.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Boom.
Here's one. Dermot O'Leary.
Dermot O'Leary,
Yeah,
nothing special.
Yeah, smooth, but nothing special.
I'll give you that.
That bloke that does shove vapeney.
Oh, Shepherd, Ben Shepherd.
Just all right.
He's absolutely. He's nothing.
The One Show.
All right, mate, calm down.
Oh, it's getting tense.
She's got real nothing special beef.
I have, because at the moment, nothing special is what rules the television,
Yeah.
because it doesn't offend anyone. But then again, it doesn't excite anyone.
Bland is the new rock and roll. I'll tell you someone who's nothing special.
By the way, I think the other microphone picked that up because these studios are not soundproofed.
Oh well, these things happen. You've taken this to the streets, mate.
Yeah, I've taken to the streets early doors this morning. Before 6 a.m, the people have spoken about who they think is nothing special. Here's what happens.
Hang on a second. I've got a feeling. No, we're in. Go.
Adrian Charles.
Is he really that bad?
He's not really that bad. He doesn't want me to kick my telly in when I see him. But
What, just a normal person?
Well, anybody. People who are nothing special. Whatever comes out of your mouth, whatever comes from your brain.
David Beckham.
I beg your pardon.
Nothing special. And many like him. He hasn't done anything for years, other than his charity work. Actually, I do take that back. His charity work. On the pitch, he's nothing special, but his charity
He doesn't
work...
play anymore, that's why.
Well, this is true. But when he did play, he was, cracking balls from 30 yards, but I've seen Luton Town players do that.
All right, mate. OK, anybody else?
I think the Queen, she's nothing special, really.
The Queen?
The Queen, she sits on her throne, Nothing special, really. I sit down on my job, I sit down all day. I don't get respect for that.
You got a cracking beard. It's taken you 7 months to grow that, OK, but David Beckham and the Queen, I think we must leave it here because we are going to fall out over this. Thanks very much.
You caught me on a night shift, so I haven't slept. Big wow to you,
Yeah, OK.
I suppose David Cameron. I just think his personality. I don't think he comes across as a nice bloke.
Comes across as nothing special.
Yeah.
Maureen, you got a strong vibe about you this morning. Maureen, people who are nothing special.
Jonathan Ross.
Jonathan Ross.
Chris Evans, I can't stand.
Okay, keep going.
Am I allowed to say that?
Say whatever you want, madam. Keep going. Jonathan Ross, Chris Evans, come on.
Yeah, I can't
Let's have
stand.
one more, make the hat trick.
I can't think of anyone else for a third one.
You got that off your chest. Do you feel better now?
Oh, I do, much better.
She won't feel better in a minute. She's wrong.
She's wrong. I'm not having Chris Evans. I'm certainly having Jonathan Ross in there. It's nothing special. And I'm not having David Beckham.
I know.
I don't like football. I don't like the. I've not particularly strong feelings about the bloke, but nothing special. He's a superstar.
The man's a superstar, and the Queen. How dare that person say that? How? I've got a picture of that person. I'll be sending that on to the powers that be. That man should be dealt
They
with.
don't need your picture. They've got satellites.
They've got satellites, isn't it? Well,
Drones,
Justin,
yeah.
excellent stuff.
Thank you.
Rock, scissors, paper. What would you call it?
I haven't got a clue what you're talking about, boss.
Rock, paper,
Whoa.
scissors. Why don't you play it with him?
No, this is what I'm going to do.
Hey.
You don't know? You've not heard of rock, scissors, paper?
I've heard it. I don't know how it works, though. It's a little game, isn't it? It's a little school game.
You have three weapons.
Yeah.
The rock,
Yeah.
the paper,
Yeah.
the scissors.
And we
Yes.
okay, we're
Yes.
going to do it. So at the count of three, we go 1, 2, 3.
Oh
boom.
yeah.
Okay, and there are rules, okay? Because what does paper do?
Well, let's
we'll find
let
out.
him learn as it goes. You ready?
Right. Okay.
So 1, 2, 3.
What you got?
Scissors.
Rock.
You win.
Okay.
Because you blunt the scissors.
Right, oh, okay.
You don't blunt the scissors. You smash the scissors.
Or you blunt them.
You smash them.
Well,
Yeah. Okay.
But you have to do it at the same time.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
can't just do it afterwards.
Okay. Oh no. All right. Okay. Go on then.
What?
Paper.
All right, scissors. Scissors cuts paper.
Yes.
1, 2.
Concentration face on Dealey is amazing.
He's thinking there's only 3 options.
I know there is, but it's a game. I have to win. I have to win games.
There's no technique. You just got to
Okay.
say the first thing on your mind.
Right, okay.
1, 2, 3.
Rock.
Paper. I win.
All right, okay.
Okay.
1-1.
1, 2, 3.
Rock.
Paper. I win.
Yeah, but you're going after me, so you're doing what I did. You're cheating.
Okay.
You're
all right.
cheating the system.
All right, we'll do it properly.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Paper.
Scissors.
You're going after me.
I'm
Going after. You're cheating.
I'm saying
No,
after you.
The
I'm
scissors
cheating.
were behind the screen. You need to raise them.
I'm doing it. I'm doing
Mate,
it.
You've come back with an attitude and you're cheating. I'm sorry, mate. You're cheating. Okay, one more. Don't.
What?
You're pulling a different sign at me now. That looks like a different sign to me. Okay, you ready?
1, 2, 3.
Rock.
Paper.
Oh.
And I did mine. Actually, did mine first.
Okay. Okay.
So that's how you play it, Justin.
Can you take that to the streets?
You want to go and play rock, scissors, paper?
Yeah, because I
with
don't,
the streets.
I don't think you quite understand how it works. Could you take that to the streets?
I'll take it to the streets. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you know who we're looking for.
Justin.
Yeah.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
Scissors.
Special powers.
Travel news for beds, cards, and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
But it's very slow moving on the M1 heading southbound on camera between junction 10 for Luton Airport and junction 9 for Redbourne. The A5 looking rather slow southbound heading between Kensworth and junction 9 for the M1. Very heavy, the M25 heading anti-clockwise between junction 21 for the M1 and junction 19 at Watford. Also queuing on the A1 heading southbound between the Holiday Inn and the Stirling Corner. Taking a look at the A41, rather slow moving on the sensors just around the Dome roundabout. And checking in on the trains so far this morning. Not seeing any problems or delays on the local live departure boards. I'm Nicola Richards with BBC Three Counties Radio.
Nicola, thank you very much indeed. Morning, guys. It's nice to be nice. It's good to be back. If you want to take part in the show this morning, you can give us a call. 03459 455 555. You can text 81333. Start your text 3CR. We're looking for a wedding band, okay, that can kind of play pretty much anything it's thrown at it. Is that you? This will take a little bit of preparation, but email me, ian.lee@bbc.co.uk. Fingers crossed. Here's the news.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 7 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: Hertfordshire family protesting man's innocence, Cameron's speech on extremism, and Beds police herald protection order.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The family of a Hertfordshire man convicted of causing his son serious physical harm is protesting his innocence. 34-year-old Matthew Chalice from Bishop Stortford began a 3-year prison sentence early this month. His friends have started a petition against his conviction, which they plan to present to David Cameron and the Justice Minister Mike Penning. More from Ollie Bayliss.
Matthew Chalice had pleaded not guilty to causing serious physical harm to his son Ollie whilst caring for him in March 2013. The prosecution had claimed that Ollie was shaken by Chalice whilst he was in his dad's sole care, and that the shaking had caused the baby to suffer a fit or seizure and a bleed over the brain. The jury unanimously found Chalice guilty after a 6-day trial. His family and friends remain convinced of his innocence and say he plans to appeal his conviction.
David Cameron will vow to tackle failures of integration when he unveils a 5-year plan to combat homegrown Islamist extremism. In a speech in Birmingham later, he will argue that the root causes of radicalisation must be tackled. The Prime Minister has suggested that he could soon seek Parliament's approval to extend UK military airstrikes against so-called Islamic State from Iraq into Syria. Police in Bedfordshire seized a large number of motorbikes and quad bikes and arrested a number of people in a major operation involving the police helicopter yesterday. The riders were seen driving dangerously in the Caxton Road area of Bedford just after midday. Officers tracked the riders, who made their way along the A6 and A421 towards Milton Keynes, as well as the A1 at Sandy. A body has been found by search teams in the wreckage of a wood mill which was destroyed by explosions and a fire on Friday. 3 other staff from the site in Cheshire are still missing. The first protection order to prevent female genital mutilation has been secured by Bedfordshire Police. It prevents the travel of 2 young girls who police believe may be at risk of being taken to Africa for the procedure. More from Carol Abercrombie.
New legislation came into force on Friday, which allows the seizure of the passports of people who they suspect are planning to take girls abroad for genital mutilation. Breaching the order is a criminal offence. The police say it's a positive step in the fight against what they describe as a cruel crime.
A 34-year-old man will appear in court later this morning, charged with stabbing a pensioner to death after a minor road accident in West Sussex. Don Locke, who was 79, died after the attack last Thursday. Around 30 firefighters tackled a large blaze in a field in Hertfordshire yesterday afternoon. They were called to Rousebarn Lane in Croxley Green, where 1.5 square miles of corn was alight. In sport, England captain Alistair Cook says yesterday's 405-run defeat by Australia at Lords was not acceptable. The Irish amateur Paul Dunn, who qualified at Woburn, is the joint leader of the Open Golf going into today's final round at St Andrews. And Watford rounded off their pre-season trip to Germany yesterday with a 2-0 win over Paderborn, with goals from Mateo Vidra and Odion Igalo. The weather cloudy with some patchy rain this morning, some sunny intervals this afternoon, feeling warm and humid, maximum temperature 25 degrees Celsius. And you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3counties.
bong.
Shut up and listen.
Sorry to cut the end of Simon Oxley off there. But let's be honest, it's been a long time coming.
What are you beefing on about?
Wouldn't you like to know, David? 03459 455 555. People that are nothing special. 81333. Start your text 3CR. What is rock, scissors and paper called? I mean, really. Once we've established that, we can play it properly. In fact, if you want to phone up and play it, bring it on. And if you're a wedding band, or a band, you know, that can kind of play all the hits, Iain.lee@bbc.co.uk, please.
Across
Smooth.
beds, hearts
Smooth.
and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Any, Texas? Oh, that's been a long time since you've muffed that up.
Yeah. There are some, I'm going to say.
That's great news. The family of a Hertfordshire man convicted of causing his son serious physical harm is protesting his innocence. 34-year-old Matthew Chalice from Bishop Stortford began a 3-year prison sentence earlier this month. His friends have started a petition against his conviction, which they plan to present to David Cameron and Mike Penning, the local MP, of course. Well, Matthew's friend, Samantha Freight, started the petition and joins me now. Morning, Samantha.
Morning.
Tell us about Matthew.
Well, where can I start? He's one of the best friends me and my husband have ever had the privilege to have. He loves our children. Our children love him. He's known as Uncle Matt, or as we like to say, Uncle Biglets. He's a lovely guy and really doesn't deserve to be in prison for something that he really, and we all know in our hearts he didn't do.
So the have I got this right, Samantha? Well, you tell me. The accusation, what he was convicted of, was causing serious harm to his young son by shaking him. Is that right?
Yes, they say. Well, they claim that he shook his son, which caused a fit or a seizure, which then led to a bleed on the brain. However, their evidence really doesn't back that claim up. They don't have enough evidence for that. There is so much more to it, and the evidence that they had in court, they didn't have all of the evidence, so the jury didn't get to see the full story, hence why he's where he is now, and that's what the family are intending to do is with the appeal, is to present all of the evidence that should have been done in the first place and to set Matt free and show everyone what really did happen to Ollie.
What really did happen then, in your opinion?
Well, there's a number of things. I mean, I wouldn't like to say too much because I don't want to interfere with any appeal process. But there is tests that he had done that they didn't follow up, and that would have given them the real conclusion of his condition, and they chose to put them aside as rubbish. And
This is the condition of the son, the 4-month-old son.
Yes, yeah, who's now 2.5, a very happy boy
Yeah.
who misses his dad so much. It's not just Matt that's feeling this pain, it's his son, it's on his mother, Danielle, their family, their friends, and the petition so far has proved that. It's over 1,100 people now that have signed, and I would say 90% of those are all people that know Matt.
Yeah. Well, the petition proves that people know him and like him and support him. It doesn't prove his innocence, does it?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Absolutely not. And this is just a small step of my token as a friend to try and show within the appeal that he does have so many people that know and believe that he doesn't. And with the evidence put across, this should be, it should be enough to bring in an appeal.
Why? Go on, sorry.
Sorry. They've got meetings to see solicitors and etc. And once that's all dealt with, and they've got their concrete base, and then they'll be taking it in, and we'll be getting massive.
Why wasn't all the evidence presented in court then? Because the judge and the jury, this was in front of a jury, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
They feel that they had enough evidence to find Matthew guilty.
Yes. Well, I mean, if you was there and you sat and watched them, the jury were falling asleep, which I found insulting to Matthew.
Well, if a jury member had fallen asleep, they would have got turfed out, wouldn't they?
Well, you would think that, wouldn't you? But he sat there nudging off his hand where he was resting on his hand, because I sat and watched it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
But
the evidence, the evidence they were presented with, they did find him guilty.
Yes, they did. Yes, but if they had all of the evidence and all of the other pictures that we have, seeing other children looking the same as how Ollie did, they would see a total different side. It's hard to describe being on the other side and knowing all the extra bits that I don't want to say too much, because I don't want to affect the appeal, in any way, shape or form. All we want to do is trying to help it.
I don't think that would affect the appeal, and I think it would it would help the argument and the case for Matthew's innocence if we did know what the evidence was.
Yeah. Well, Danielle is on with you later, and I feel it's probably as my being her friend,
I can
in her
understand
best interest for her to disclose the more personal information.
Yeah. Well, I understand that, of course. It's such a tough one, isn't it? What? Sometimes nice people do not very nice things, don't they? Completely out of character, and that are completely takes everyone by surprise, and those closest to that person find impossible to believe they could have done.
Yeah. No, he loves his son so much, and if you could see what he's like just with other children, he's got so many
but
friends.
sometimes people lose their temper. They have a that kind of red mist. They have a rage. They whenever you hear about a murderer or someone doing something very naughty, they always speak to a neighbour or a relative and go, "Well, he never seemed the type. I'm so surprised." And we're always surprised when people we know and love.
Got that. If you look on some of the sites where the Essex Police and stuff have put their reporting of it and people's initial reaction, but when you know Matt so much, I've known him 13, 14 years. My husband's known him 20 odd, and he's been a close friend to everyone for so long.
Do we really know anyone?
I believe we do.
Because people have got. People have got secrets and shadows and things that, the behaviour that other people don't know about.
Yeah, but they also have friends that they confide in, and if you know someone that much, you know the truth. You know it. Okay. Matthew, if I couldn't, I can't put him into words. He is so lovely.
Well, your affection for the gentleman comes across, Samantha, and he's certainly very lucky to have friends like you.
Yeah, well, all of us feel the same. If anyone goes on change.org and searches Free Matthew Chalice, they will see all the comments on the bottom of all of his friends, all the stuff that they've wrote about him, and it is truly amazing. It brought me to tears. Everyone feels the same, And if you could have every one of those people on here, they'd all say the same thing.
But again, with the greatest respect, that isn't a legal argument for his innocence, is it? That's just people saying nice things about a bloke, which you could find people to say nice things about any bloke, you know.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I appreciate what you're saying.
Samantha, listen, I really appreciate you coming on. I really appreciate you, taking my questioning, because it's kind of my job is I have to push these things. And it'll be interesting to keep in touch and see what happens.
Yes.
But the main thing is the boy's all right.
Yes, he is.
That's the most important thing, isn't it? Okay, yeah. All right, brilliant. Yeah. Samantha, thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. 03459 455 555. I feel like I should ask a question off the back of that, but I don't know what question to ask. I'm not going to do that. Well, what do you think? Because guess what? We haven't seen the evidence. We haven't seen the evidence that was presented in the court, and we haven't seen the evidence that Samantha claims the family has that would prove his innocence.
But don't we all wish we had friends who had, unswerving faith in us?
Yep.
He's lucky.
He's very lucky. And courts make mistakes, and juries make mistakes, and maybe this is a mistake, but at the moment he is guilty in terms of he was found guilty in a court of law. 03459 455 555.
This is Iain Lee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
How about those Texas?
Yeah, we got 3.
What, has Justin killed my audience?
I like the mushy peas.
So do I.
We've got 4, but one of them is just, okay.
Oh, it's just
do you want me to read them all?
How am I gonna fill with only 3.5 Texas?
Well, I'll read.
It is tough, I know.
I'll read these and I'll read them slowly. Kate from Milton Keynes.
Good morning, Kate.
Morning, guys. Say
Are
morning.
you real?
Come on, speed up.
Say morning back.
Morning.
For nothing special, Keith Lemon. Keith Lemon.
He's the French Keith Lemon.
To hit him.
Yeah, no, you're wrong.
I think she wants to hit him.
Keith Lemon is hilarious.
Wow.
If you ever meet Keith Lemon off camera when he's in character, flipping it, man. It's just... I was doing Big Brother's Little Brother with him years ago, right? And it's a live show, but they had to rehearse him. He was going to improvise, freestyle a rap about Big Brother.
Oh, no.
And in the rehearsal, it was the funniest, filthiest thing. Libelous, disgusting, full of sexual profanity. It was hilarious. And what made it even funnier was you could see all of the producers who were like 18 on that programme, their faces just turned white. And they're all running up to him saying, Lee, and he won't answer to Lee. Keith, are you going to do that? You can't, you can't do that. Oh, right, I can't do that on the show. Oh, OK, right, well, I'll tone it down a bit for the show. It was brilliant.
Did he, though?
He did tone it down. He goes up to the edge and then pushes it a little bit. But I think he's brilliant. And I used to hate him. I used to slag him off on a TV show I did. And I met him and found him hilarious. And I said, I owe you a massive apology. I was so rude about you. And he said, yeah, I know you were. I said, I'm sorry, I think you're brilliant. That's okay, I don't mind.
Aww. I like him a bit more now.
He's nice.
Speaking of the edge.
Yes. Oh.
Bono, says John, the king of nothing special.
Oh, yeah, there we go. The king. The king of nothing special, Bono.
Really?
And he fits into a category from a few weeks ago. He doesn't half look old now.
Well, he does, yeah, but he looked old then.
He looks old now. There's a picture of him with one of the Beach Boys, and I thought he was with... The Beach Boy was with a Bono impersonator, but no, it's Bono.
It's actual Bono.
He's wizened in the face, not in the mind.
Is it Bono or Bono?
Bono.
Bono.
That's
what I'm saying.
Bono's the tribute act.
That's what I'm saying, Bono.
Okay.
It's like Dido and... no, best not to go there. Yeah, that's it, Dido.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's looking particularly slow on the M1 this morning on camera, heading southbound between junction 12 for Flitwick and junction 9 at Redbourne. Also the A5 seeing delays between Kensworth and junction 9 for Redbourne at the M1. The M25 very heavy anti-clockwise between junction 21 for the M1 and junction 19 at Watford. And in Boreham the A1 is queuing, heading southbound between the Holiday Inn and Stirling Corner. So far on the trains there's no problems to report. I'm Nicola Richards with BBC Three Counties Radio.
Good boy, slackers.
Morning, guys. Iain Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio, 7:16 on Monday, the 20th of July. These are your headlines. The family of a Hertfordshire man convicted of causing his son serious physical harm is protesting his innocence. David Cameron will use a speech in Birmingham today to try to dissuade people from travelling to join Islamic State militants in Syria and Iraq. Oh, that's going to work, innit? And police seized a large number of motorbikes and quad bikes and arrested a number of people near Bedford yesterday.
Every weekday morning.
One partially closed and the others didn't operate at all.
I have contacted other companies who do it professionally, and they said it should have been anchored down.
The JVS Show.
It was looked over by the garage and they told me do not move the vehicle anywhere. It's a complete death trap.
The JVS Show fights for your rights and tackles your consumer problems.
I'm getting nowhere. I've tried on numerous occasions to talk to the manager of this company.
If you need our help, email jvsshow@bbc.co.uk.
So they said, we're going to contact the customer, we're going to have a chat, and we're going to make a gesture to that customer.
And we could do the same for you.
Without your programme, I don't know what you'd do in the morning.
The JVS Show, weekdays from 9 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
God, that is a nasty growl.
03459 455 555 is the telephone number. I love the fact that, by the way, Kelly, great to have you back.
Thanks, Blair.
I love the fact that David Cameron is talking tough about the so-called Islamic State. Two things. First of all, right, he, when I was away, he gave the BBC a right rollicking, which is what the government are going to do for a while. Get used to it. You'll miss us when we're gone. I hope you enjoy your Sky package. He gave the BBC a right rollicking for calling them the Islamic State. We don't call them the Islamic State. There was a massive email that was sent round. There was an email that was sent round about 6 months ago saying, please do not refer to IS or ISIL as the Islamic State. Refer to them as, Catherine? You didn't read the email.
The so-called Islamic State.
The so-called Islamic State. And he says you're making it legitimate by calling them Islamic State. All right, well we'll make sure we call them the so-called Islamic State. And then
I don't think their title is the main problem.
No. And then what did he? He's on America. He's like acting tough because he's the tough man, and he's let our bombers go and fight for America and bomb Syria without passing it through Parliament. Tough guy. And then what did he refer to the so-called Islamic State as on American television?
He didn't, did he?
He called them a caliphate, which gives them complete...
Caliphate is like calling them the kingdom.
It gives them complete legitimacy, you massive hypocritical toffee-nosed plum.
The caliphate is what they're trying to establish.
Yeah.
Like
he referred to them
like
as
an empire.
the caliphate.
What
OK, guys. And so now what he's doing...
Who do we write to?
Him. He's the only person we can write to. So now what he's doing is he's saying we need to fight back with British values. Oh my God! With British values, what does that mean? I don't want you to phone in. That's lazy.
How does that stop people's heads being taken
And
off?
also, the British values are the things they don't like. They don't like it. David Cameron's going to launch a 5-year plan in Birmingham to dissuade people. OK, guys, so what we're going to do is I really don't want you to go because the boys are going to have bombs on them and the women are going to get married off to older men and raped, OK? Well, he's the enemy. Of course he's going to say that.
And what exactly are British values, by the way? Is it like being patient and tutting?
Casual racism.
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips. That's it, isn't it?
Queuing.
Keeping your rage in your stomach.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just think David Cameron's on television too much. 03459 455 555 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You might want to give us a call about this. You might not. You're not wanting to this morning. It doesn't matter. I'm not bothered. Dog discipline. Naughty. Oh, where's my Barbara Woodhouse? I've left it at home. When Sian Moles spotted a woman using a shock collar on her puppy, she had to get involved. And boy, oh boy, did she get involved. Sian's on the line. Morning, Sian.
Morning.
What happened?
Well, let's just say I got a little bit carried away.
Go on then.
I was walking my Labrador in a place that I always walk in, and I saw a dog over the other side of the water.
Yeah.
Just doing a little bit of jolting, to which I thought maybe there was something wrong with the dog.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit more watching, and I realised the lady was shocking the dog. Looked like
now,
she
by
had a
shocking,
phone.
you don't mean saying rude words or showing naughty pictures.
Absolutely
She had
not,
the shock
no.
collar on.
Looked like she had a phone in her hand,
Ah.
which is why I didn't sort of put two and two together. So when I realised this was what was happening, I went over to the lady in a very calm manner and said, why do you think this is acceptable to do this to your puppy? Which I was responded to, this isn't a puppy, this is a 6-month-old. I would still call that as a puppy. Every time the woman spoke, this dog was paralysed in fear, knowing that it was going to be shocked.
So the collar was working then?
Oh, absolutely. The
Right.
dog was physically jolting every time the woman pressed it.
Yeah.
And she was very press happy.
Well, how many times did she press it?
I would say at least 12 before I went over, realising what was happening.
Yeah.
When I was speaking to her, I explained everything that I'd gone through training with my puppy and how my trainer's called Karen and she does reward and treat. And my dog trusts me, will do anything for me. And I showed her that. And she was having none of it. Well, my trainer does this and this is how I'm going to do it. And when I said to her to try and call her dog in a nice, calm voice, she did it. And then when the dog didn't come, she shocked him right in front of me.
Oh.
So I just leaned over, grabbed the remote out of her hand and threw it into the river.
Oh, I'd have been furious if you'd done that to me.
She wasn't that furious. She
I
was
would
more
have been.
shocked.
That's a bit rude, isn't it? Nicking something of someone's and chucking it in a canal.
But I had to think of the poor dog.
Well, yeah, but you stole something and vandalised it.
I did.
You're going to pay for the replacement?
She took my picture.
Oh.
And I said to her, whatever you're going to do, that's fine. I was too mad at the time. I just had to go.
Because okay, there are two issues here. And Sean, you can't go around stealing other people's equipment and
No,
property
you
and damaging it. So you have to pay for a new one, don't you?
Well, she hasn't been in contact.
Okay, but if she got in contact, you'd pay for a new one.
If she wanted me to. I'm hoping that she feels, by this being highlighted, that the shock collars are barbaric.
Okay. You have a tone about you, Sean, don't you?
A tone?
There it was. A slightly confrontational tone.
No, I wasn't confrontational at all to her.
In your opinion, I am picking up, and I'm sure some of the, and I kind of picked up the very first thing you said. There's a slight aggression's too strong a word, but there's a something there, and I can't express it any more than a tone that some people might find excessively and unnecessarily confrontational.
No, I absolutely wasn't confrontational.
No,
to
what
her.
I'm saying is you wouldn't notice it because it's you that's doing it. I'm picking up on it. I'm definitely noticing
I felt
it.
for the dog.
Yeah.
The dog was my priority. That dog hasn't got a voice. So I was being the dog's voice.
But then the thing is, they're not illegal, are they?
They're not illegal. But
You just
this
don't
dog
approve
was
of them.
It wasn't just that. It was the fact that the dog was physically looked like it was in pain and in
call
fear
the
every
police.
time she spoke.
Why didn't you call the police or the RSPCA?
It was a spur of the moment thing. I just wanted her to know that there was a different way around training your dog. And I just wanted her to know. It was only because she shocked him straight in front of me that happened. It was not something I would normally do.
It's interesting, isn't it, that you have displayed... Because I agree, I think these collars are unnecessary and unpleasant, but I'm just trying to think, if I had been in that position, you're showing her that using violence on an animal isn't necessary by doing something kind of violent and aggressive yourself.
Wasn't violent and aggressive at all. She had it in her hand.
You grabbed a piece of equipment and you broke it.
I didn't break it. I threw it into the river.
Do you think it's going to work now?
It could possibly work.
Oh, come on, Sian. You did something that was invasive, and it just seems odd that you.
I felt it was needed.
She felt that the shock. She felt the shock was. But Sian, she felt that the shock was needed. What you did.
That's her opinion.
Yeah, and that's your opinion. What she did could be argued that it's wrong, and we're going to speak to someone later on who thinks it's wrong, and someone who thinks it's right. What you did was definitely wrong.
Oh, I know that now. But on the spur of the moment, I just needed to look after that dog. And that's all I could see. I could see the dog in pain, and I needed to stop that.
Okay. Any regrets?
No. I'm glad this has been highlighted. But I have no regrets. I just hope the lady comes forward.
Why do you hope she comes forward? So you can... to shame her, or...?
No, not at all. Just so that she can see there is another way of training. I think if she tried the other way, then she has both sides.
But it's not illegal, though. That's the thing. It's only illegal in Wales. It's not illegal. It
No,
may be
but because
unpleasant.
it
It may
is
be
illegal in
distasteful.
Wales.
But it may be distasteful to you. It may be unpleasant to you. You know, choke chains. I used to train my dog with a choke chain 20 years ago. You know, I wouldn't do it now. Looking back, it wasn't particularly nice. But that's, you know, it's not really any of your business, is it?
No, it wasn't. But if I see someone in pain, anybody, I would try and help them.
Okay. Sean, well, let's see what the callers think. I really appreciate you letting us know about it.
Okay, thanks very much.
There it was again. Thank you very much indeed, Sean. 03459 455 555. I'm throwing that one open to you. Maybe we can get Justin out on that one as well. If we can phrase it in a nice, unique, non-local way, please. I don't know. There's something about that. I think those chains, those collars are unnecessary and unpleasant. And if you use them, then give me a call and let me know why. And we'll be speaking to a dog trainer who thinks they're all right and that they can be kind of effective. I also know if someone, it's like if someone, it hasn't happened to us, but if someone comes up to you and has a go at you in a confrontational tone, and Sean doesn't notice this, I picked up a confrontational tone from Sean, even when she was talking to me, and I wasn't doing nothing wrong. But if someone comes up to you and questions the way you're raising your child, you're disciplining your child in a confrontational tone, my immediate reaction would be, well, get lost, none of your business, I'll do what I want to do. I just think that to go over to someone like that and, yeah, okay, say, look, actually, I think that's a little bit unnecessary and you're hurting the dog. Maybe you want to consider something else. Here's the phone number of my dog trainer. Why don't you give her a call? That would be fine. But then to steal someone's equipment and vandalise it.
That's a sign that you've lost your rag, isn't it? And then you do that, you lose the argument.
Yeah,
it's a funny thing, isn't it? Dogs and children, two things that people who also have them feel inclined to comment on your behaviour towards your own.
I would love your thoughts on this, please. I don't have a dog. I might be getting one. After losing the rabbit, though, I'm kind of off getting pets for the moment. I just think there are. Well, okay, I guess the question is, was Sean right to go and steal someone's equipment and vandalise it? Because she disapproved. Also, be honest, if you're a dog owner, do you judge the other people that you see out with their dogs? Do you judge them? 03459 455 555. You can text as well, 81333. Start your text 3CR. Let's get the trav.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
We're looking particularly busy this morning on the A1 heading southbound between the Great North Road and the Black Hat roundabout. Also the M1 on cameras looking slow southbound between junction 12 for Flitwick and junction 9 for Redbourne. Also seeing delays on the M25 anti-clockwise heading between junction 21A for the M1 south and junction 16 for the M40. And also the M40 itself London bound rather heavy just around junction 4 for the Handy Cross roundabout. So far on the trains, not seeing any problems or delays to report. I'm Nicola Richards with BBC Three Counties Radio.
Hey, nice one, Nicola. 03459 455 555. Dogs with electric shock collars. Was Sean right to go and steal someone's equipment and destroy it? I'm not completely convinced by that. Fingers crossed, we'll have the news now with Simon.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 7:30. The headlines. The family of a Hertfordshire man convicted of causing his son serious physical harm is protesting his innocence. 34-year-old Matthew Chalice from Bishop Stortford began a 3-year prison sentence early this month. David Cameron will use a speech in Birmingham today to try to dissuade people from travelling to join Islamic State militants in Syria and Iraq. Police seized a large number of motorbikes and quad bikes and arrested a number of people near Bedford yesterday. And a 34-year-old man will appear in court later this morning charged with stabbing a pensioner to death after a minor road accident in West Sussex.
Three Counties Sport.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
England captain Alistair Cook says yesterday's 405-run defeat by Australia at Lords was not acceptable. It was England's third heaviest defeat ever in runs and their worst since 1948, after Cook's side were bowled out for just 103.
When you get bowled out for 100 on a wicket like that, when you've got about 150 overs to save the game, isn't good enough, and it's tough to take. Certainly it's frustrating, not being able to match the standards we set at Cardiff to play like we have here. We outplayed them in Cardiff and they outplayed us here.
Irish amateur Paul Dunne is the joint leader of the Open Golf going into today's final round at St Andrews, only the second Monday finish in 155 years. Dunne is joined on 12 under by the former winner Louis Oosthuizen and Australia's Jason Day, with Jordan Spieth one shot behind. The Irishman qualified for St Andrews at Woburn.
It was incredible, that day was the most enjoyable day I think I've had in my whole life. So, I was just trying to stick to my game plan, really, to let myself hit the good shots and just deal with the bad ones when I hit them. So I thought I did a good job of that today.
In football, Watford rounded off their pre-season trip to Germany yesterday with a 2-0 win over Paderborn, with goals from Matteo Vidra and Odion Igalo. Also yesterday, Boreham Wood lost 3-0 at home to Brentford. Tonight, MK Dons go to Chesham. Luton are at Gosport. And Andy Murray has taken Britain to a first Davis Cup semi-final in 34 years after victory over France at Queen's Club, with Murray clinching the win by beating Gilles Simon in 4 sets. Murray and Britain will face Australia in the semi-finals in September.
The whole weekend has been fantastic. This team has done amazing things. We're punching above our weight here, and we're now in the semi-finals of the biggest team competition in tennis. And it's been a long road back from where we were a few years ago, but there's many players that have played their part in getting us here, and I'm just proud to be in this position, and I hope we can do well in September.
BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 8.
This is Iain Lee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
If you hear a whisper, give us a shout. I'll come round and bake your eggs.
03459 455 555 is the phone number. I forgot that bit at the end was there.
Gosh, he sounded like he meant it as well.
I've tidied all these up now. I had a really geeky evening in a hotel in Birmingham. Once all the drugs and the women had gone, I thought, what am I going to do? I'm going to tidy up my thing. I was wide awake. I was buzzing. And so I've name one.
Doorbells.
Hang on. There.
Doorbells.
Name one.
Never.
Sorry?
Never.
Say that again.
Never.
Okay, there.
Never.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Name one. Boobs is not news.
So boobs is not news.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss Catty.
Good morning, sir.
Now, that one...
Good morning, sir.
I need to practice, but it's getting faster. This is...
Jack Russell.
There we go. My nickname at school. Pat's in Houghton Regis. Morning, Pat.
Morning, Ian.
You all right, fella?
Yeah, fine, thank you. You?
Yeah, do you know what? It's good to be back, particularly knowing I'm going to have another holiday in 3 weeks' time. Thank you, licence fee. What you got for us, Pat?
I want to know about, have you heard anything about the massive operation on off-road motorbikes in Houghton Regis was a success? Because there don't seem to be any reports coming in.
Oh, well, we know about...
Bedford.
We know about Bedford, don't we? Where they've busted some bikes. They've got some bikes and some quad bikes and things like that they've confiscated. But I have no specifics on the Houghton, and indeed...
Have you got some breaking news, Simon? No, he just come in.
He's just come in to hang out with the cool kids.
He jumped up just as soon as Pat said, I hear there's been a police operation in Houghton Regis on the bike.
They did arrest some people last night at Houghton Pits.
He does know.
They arrested some people at Houghton Pits, Pat.
How do you feel about that?
Pat.
Good news, good news.
Hey, Pat, while I've got you online...
Yeah.
Do you fancy a quick game of rock, scissors and paper?
Who?
Sorry? How can people not know how to play rock, scissors and paper? Do you know? You know it. So rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, paper beats rock. Yeah.
Does it? Okay.
Have you never been on a long car journey with children?
I tend to go asleep.
No. All right. Here we go. So we go.
You're not driving, are you, Pat?
Yeah, well, yeah.
At the count of 3, you tell me whether you got rock, scissors, and paper. Okay. 1, 2, 3. What you got?
Scissors.
Oh, I got rock. I smashed you. Right. Try again. 1, 2, 3.
Paper.
I got scissors. Cut the paper. Try one more.
Hang on a minute. Don't I blunt your scissors?
What, have you got paper?
Yeah, because paper blunts sharp objects.
Paper blunts scissors over about 100 years.
Well, we could play it for 100 years, but it means I've won.
No, only the rock blunts
But I keep
immediately.
cutting. I've shredded your paper.
No, my paper's good material.
Oh, it's good paper, is it? All right.
Yeah,
okay, last one. 1, 2, 3.
Rock.
Oh, mate, I got paper. Good game. Never mind. Try again. If you want, and you'll back that up. That was all legit and above the board. 03459 455
I'll go
555.
further. It was tournament standard.
It was tournament standard. Standard! Tournament standard! Hey, listen, There's a really boring story in the newspaper.
Just one.
But it's got an interesting phrase in it. Okay, we go to page 3 of the Daily Mail. Vending machines will soon serve salads and hot burgers. Oh,
I love big buns.
and I love hot burgers. I love big buns as well, but
So boobs is not news.
when we feed coins into a vending machine, we expect little more than a soggy sandwich or a tired chocolate bar in return. It's not 1976.
What's a tired chocolate
This
bar?
isn't, what do they used to call the trains? British trains now. The British Trainaway. What do they call it? British Rail. But imagine if it could serve up a plate of steaming lasagna.
That would be weird.
A glass of fresh... I've never seen lasagna steam. I've seen something steam. When we went to a farm last week.
Oh no!
And all the kids got to groom a pony. It's not a euphemism. Do you know what the difference between? Here we go. Let me ask Kelly, because you might know this, Catherine. And I didn't know this. I did not know this. Do you know the difference between a pony and a horse? A pony and a horse.
A pony is smaller.
Catherine?
Well, they're different. There's different species, aren't they?
Right.
So they got
What?
short legs.
Yeah. Kelly's right. A pony is just like a small horse.
Short legs, fat belly.
That's not what you said. You said they're a different species.
They are. So one's a horse, one's a pony.
No, but you can have a tiny horse, and that would be classed as a pony. The difference between a pony.
Short horse.
The difference between a pony. I need horse experts. Call it. The difference between a pony and a horse is an inch. Do it in hands. To be a horse, it's got to be like 14.2 hands. Hello.
She's checking out.
Oh, she's on the phone, is she? Sorry, I do apologise.
She's talking to Gafford.
Oh, crikey. Are we that
He'll know.
desperate?
He's a horseman.
He's a boring man. He's a stud.
He talks a load of pony.
Talking about this.
What do you want, Gafford?
Oh, I've got the name of a tired chocolate bar.
All right, hang on a minute. Let's see. Let's anticipate the gag. A tired chocolate bar. Let's see where we can get to. Curly whirly, no.
Whisper. I've got an idea.
Whisper. Go on, Kelly.
Yawny, like Yorkie.
Yawny is good. We're going to
Do you
keep
think
that.
he would do that? That's a bit rubbish, isn't it?
Let's.
I've heard his and it is rubbish.
Okay, let's hang on a minute.
It is.
Gatford, I've been talking to you on and off for 15 years, and you've done one good call. Let me think.
Can I just check? When was that? Because I need to go back and listen to it just to be up to date.
It was towards the end of LBC, but to be honest, I wasn't really paying attention then because I knew the game was up, so I might have imagined it. A tired chocolate bar. Twix? No, Mars. A snores bar.
Right.
Snores bar? Does that sound like a chocolate bar? Is there a bar bar?
A quick nap.
That's good. Someone should do that. A quick nap.
Oh, a Caranap.
No.
I love Caramacs.
Yeah, I do. They're not actually chocolate though. They are just caramel flavoured candy.
It's
Aren't
just
they?
like brown and orange mixed together.
I think they're made out of plastic.
Let me think. It's gonna be.
It's gonna be
a
flaky flake out. A flake.
A yawny.
I said that.
I did too, because that's actually what I thought of it.
Do you want to put you out of your misery?
No.
No.
What about a Turkish fortnight? What
Catch
about?
me if you can.
All right, son, I will do in a minute. I'm busy.
I thought of a backup. See, if they were still called marathon, that would be tired because marathon makes you tired.
Yeah, they do.
That wasn't the one.
You know the great joke, and I can't do the punchline about how I entered a marathon. You know the punchline? Do you know the punchline?
I guess it's going to be.
I entered a marathon.
That is rubbish.
Gafford, do you know what, mate? You've beaten me.
Okay.
Give us a call tomorrow and let us know. No, that's cruel. Go on, what is it?
Whisper.
I said whisper.
I said whisper right at the
Whisper
start.
was the first thing we said, mate. And how is that tired? That's not tired, that's quiet.
Well, no, but if you whisper, you're probably tired because you can't talk.
No.
It's the fastest way to wear out your voice.
Maybe you're burgling, and if I was burgling, I wouldn't do it when I was tired. I was doing it when I was hyper alert.
But it would be at night, and someone in the room would be tired.
Go away.
You're assuming there's someone else in the room, Gatford. We all know that's not the case.
Yawny was good though, wasn't it?
When I said it,
Yeah, when you said it was
I
better.
sold
I
it.
thought quick nap was best.
Whisper. We said whisper. It's the first thing we said.
He's still there.
But imagine if it... Gatford?
Could you... Any chance we could just bring back Justin Dealey for a week?
No, but what I...
Yeah, in 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Oh,
but
okay.
what I can do is I've got the technology now to cut you off.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. There we go. He's gone. So, we're talking about this. A steaming... So we're on the farm, and the kids are cleaning, brushing a pony. It's size. It's all down to size. And then
they meant the pony'd side.
They were loving
not
it.
This again.
They were loving it. And they were loving it, right? And they were really proud of their work. And I said to the young girl who was doing it, I said, "Are there any more jobs they could do? You know, like she said, "Well, there's a massive pile of manure that needs to be cleaned up.
It's called mucking out.
They won't want to do that." I said, "You don't know my boys. Boys, who wants to go and clean a massive poo?" Me, Daddy! And they were fighting over who got to clean up the poo.
Gosh,
it was brilliant. I'm going to invent a game. A steaming lasagna, Now, see if you can spot the phrase here where my bullshine alert rang, OK?
Go on.
Imagine if it could serve a plate of steaming lasagna, a glass of freshly squeezed fruit juice, or a gourmet salad made that very morning. But such an appetising idea could soon be a reality, according to Dr. Morgaine Gay, whose job as a food futurologist...
Oh, boom.
A food futurologist?
I'm making plans for dinner. Does that make me a food futurologist?
Yeah, I reckon in the future we're going to have sandwiches that make themselves from... you're going to buy a loaf of bread and it will suddenly just make itself into a cheese and pickle sandwich. You can get... And they stopped this, and I'm guessing because it was nuclear-powered, you could buy in petrol stations cans of coffee that you press the button and it would heat itself. You'd have a hot cup of coffee.
Didn't you watch that thing over the weekend that I watched, Craigslist Joe?
I did watch Craigslist Joe.
Fella gives him a ready meal that cooks itself.
The Jewish fella gives him a hot schmarkelis or something. What's the name of Jewish food? Schminkelis.
Careful, because there's a very rude word that you're near.
Okay. I'm always near a rude
Don't
word.
say schmeckel.
Okay.
Don't say that.
Anyway, they get self-heating.
So anyway, gets him a hot tamale or something, and that's Mexican. And it self-heats. Because what scenario would you need that? He's just got it lying around the house. I know.
Yeah.
Sabbath.
That would count as cooking, wouldn't it?
I don't know. Sometimes some Jewish people get around it.
Yeah, tell me about it.
They use timers and stuff.
Dave, what have you been up to while I've been away?
I've done a little garden.
Well, that's fantastic news. That's good to
He was
know.
on every day last week.
A food future... Well, he's running scared, isn't he?
Anyway, what's this food bullshiner say?
He just said something.
Some things and stuff.
03459 455 555 on the subject of the Shan, the lady who spotted a dog being zapped. Lisa said she had an air of authority and righteousness. Scott says, I think I'd rather wear the zapping collar than have that woman shouting at me.
Well, Stephen...
And Scott says, I liked her spunk, but she was definitely on her high horse.
Stephen Milton Keynes, though, is defending Shan.
Good,
In fact, his wife says she didn't go far enough.
Oh.
My wife says she would have pushed the woman and her remote control in the water.
No, we don't encourage violence. Oh, here's a texter. Tired chocolate, lion bar, lying bar, lying down.
That's great.
Well, it's not really, is it? If anything, it's even more rubbish.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Well, it's looking particularly slow on the A1 heading southbound this morning between the Great North Road and the Black Cat roundabout on the sensors. Also in Canberra, the M1 southbound rather slow between junction 12 at Flitwick and junction 9 for Redbourne. And just getting in the A1M, that's looking particularly slow as well southbound between junction 8 for Stevenage North and junction 7 for the A602. And queuing on the M25 anti-clockwise between junction 21A for the M1 South and junction 16 for the M40. Also very slow moving on the A1 southbound between the Holiday Inn and Stirling Corner. No problems to report on the trains this morning. I'm Nicola Richards with BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you very much. Where are we now? 7:45, Monday the 20th of July. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. The family of a Hertfordshire man convicted of causing his son serious physical harm is protesting his innocence. David Cameron will use a speech in Birmingham today to try to dissuade people from travelling to join Islamic State militants in Syria and Iraq. So that's that sorted then. And police seized a large number of motorbikes and quad bikes and arrested a number of people near Bedford yesterday. Here's Kate with the weather.
Beds, Herts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Good morning. It's a rather cloudy start to the new week, I'm afraid, and it is going to stay cloudy for much of the day. Quite disappointing. We have maybe one or two brighter spells, but it will very quickly be filled in. We've got some light rain and drizzle working their way across the counties at the moment as well. So this light rain, the drizzle, likely to pop up anywhere at any point, but it is going to become progressively more humid. Quite warm and sticky today. Maximum temperature 25 Celsius, becoming a bit breezier this afternoon as well. Now we do have a chance of maybe a brighter spell as the cloud breaks towards this evening, but that in turn comes with its own problems. Temperature could spike a little higher and we could see one or two showers develop, but they'll clear away this evening, leaving it dry and clear in the most part. Minimum temperature 12 Celsius. So for tomorrow, it's a brighter start, more sunshine, really quite nice actually. But then as we head through the afternoon, we could see a little bit more cloud, maybe the chance of an isolated shower. Not a high risk though, so you'll be unlucky to catch one. Maximum temperature still reasonably warm despite the breeze at 23 Celsius, and that's your forecast.
Nick Coffer on BBC Three Counties Radio.
For over 6 decades, comedian Ken Dodd has been touring and selling out theatres.
I'm very blessed, actually, Mr. Nick, because if the jokes aren't connecting as much as I'd like them to, I can always burst into song.
Weekdays from 12.
Much of that music, not least the Happy Mondays, has not only stood the test of time, it still sounds as fresh as it did then.
Certainly does, yeah. 60s knockoffs. It's sure that weren't that other lot, not us.
Nick Coffer.
Live at Woburn Abbey for the Woburn Abbey Garden Shed. It's very nice to actually speak to you in your home. You are the very proud garden manager.
I am indeed, yes. I'm proud of what we've achieved as a team here at Woburn. It's fantastic.
Nick Coffer. Weekdays from 12 on BBC Three Counties Radio. This is Iain Lee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Bedfordshire police have stopped 2 girls being taken out of the country, the suspicion being they're about to undergo a brutal rite of passage. This is the first time a female genital mutilation protection order has been used in the UK. It happened on Friday, the first day it was available to the courts. Well, Sian Basra is a Detective Superintendent from Bedfordshire Police and joins me now. Morning, Sian.
Good morning, Ian.
What can you tell us about this case?
Well, first of all, Ian, I want to thank you for inviting me onto the show. It gives us an opportunity to raise awareness on what is a really important matter. These 2 girls, there were concerns raised through our partner arrangements and working together with our partners in the local authority in Luton. We approached a family court at Luton. It's only one of 23 courts in the country where you can apply for such an order. And using the legal team at the local authority, we were successful in getting an order, and now we are satisfied that these girls are safe.
So what does the order mean? That their parents or their family can't take them out of the country?
Ian, as you know, I'm going to be very governed in relation to what I say about the individual case. But yes, it does prevent those girls from being taken abroad. We had those concerns. There were genuine concerns that they may be subject to female genital mutilation. And this order gives us and partners the opportunity to make sure that the girls are safe.
Of course, if I ask anything that you can't say, then I appreciate the delicacies of the delicateness. Oh, there's not a word there of this case. How in a situation like this, though, how would you stop a family if a family wanted to get their children out of the country? There would be ways around it, wouldn't there?
But this is a legal order. It's been granted by HH Judge Gavin Arthur. It prohibits the girls from being taken abroad. There's other factors to it, and it basically the order it prepares the family and the girls in relation to anything that they may be planning to do in relation to female genital mutilation.
And how long would an order like this last? Does it have a time limit?
At the moment, we're still in the early stages of that process with the courts, and for obvious reasons, I'm not going to go into the details of when we're next at court, etc.
Okay. How do the police find out about something like this? Again, not necessarily specifically this case, but are there ongoing investigations? Are there people that you are suspicious of? Or are you entirely down to friends and family kind of coming in and tipping the wink?
Where we are, Ian, and you may well have seen the recent press in the Metropolitan Police and figures that have been suggested nationwide. Where we are here in Bedfordshire, and this is what's important to our communities, it's about raising awareness. And this is exactly what happened on Friday. There were concerns that were raised. They were fed through to the local authority and social services. We had a joint strategy meeting with social services. We did a little bit of investigation, as is the police's right in these circumstances, and that rose those concerns. And through that, working with our local authority legal team, we went and got this order to make sure these girls are safe. It's about raising awareness, and that's what I really want to push.
Yeah. And you can get this order quickly, can you? I mean, how long does it take to get?
The orders went live on Friday, as you've heard, on the 17th, and we got it that same afternoon at Luton
So
Family
it's a speedy process. You go in and it can be handed out quickly. Can we expect more orders and arrests, do you think? Not necessarily with this case, but with other families?
If it is an emergent problem, if people have concerns in schools or our partners or friends and family, then we will take the proportionate action to make sure girls who live in our county are safe.
Good, brilliant. All right, Sean, keep up the good work. Thanks very much for letting us know about that. And let's hope the message gets out there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Detective Superintendent Sian Basra from Bedfordshire Police. 03459 455 555.
This is Iain Lee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Any texters?
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh, you want me to read them?
Yes, please, Mark.
Mark says, tired chocolate bar.
Oh, there we go.
Are we doing this?
Well, it turns out we've turned into radio too.
Well,
Beg your pudding?
I like the tired chocolate bar.
Yeah, I know,
Well,
but
I like it, but I don't think I'll like it for 3 hours.
this is the kind of stuff you'd hear after the BBC Introducing show on a Saturday night, isn't it? Give us your tired chocolate bars. We'll go. Do you know what? Let's go for it. Come on. It's first day back for me. I'm warming up.
Mark, Drifter.
But it's not tired, though. If it was chocolate bars about moving, then yeah, I'll give you Drifter, but, I mean, this is tired.
Lee's stretching the elastic here. Lee from Leighton Buzzard.
What elastic?
Well, on the word tired. A wagon wheel.
I don't get it.
Tyre is in like a wheel.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Oh, that's
stupid.
brilliant.
No, it's not
See,
stupid.
That's the best thing I've ever heard.
Tony's joke involves a Geordie
That
accent.
is rubbish, isn't it, Dave?
Yes.
Thank you.
Tony says, tired or tiered chocolate bar, Bounty. You need to do this in a Geordie accent. I'm very tired. Why are you Bounty?
A Geordie accent?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what the joke is, and I don't really know what the spelling is. Tired chocolate bar. Time out from Andrew and Jimmy in D-Town. I think they mean Dunstable.
Are you real?
I think...
Can I have a fan in here, please? It's getting hot again, isn't it?
Do you want me to stand in there?
Oh, for crying out loud.
And I think you'll find, says Maffin Hanslope, that Bono, we're also talking about people who are now special.
Yeah.
Bono is not a king, he is a self-proclaimed saint, says Maff.
Front page of the Daily Mirror. I don't see the problem with this story. £75,000 for kidneys on Facebook. Where do I sign up? I've got 2 kidneys, haven't I?
Yeah.
OK. Where do I sign up?
You sell one.
For £75,000, yeah.
You sell both, wouldn't you?
What? 75? You only need 1 kidney, yeah? Is that right? You only need one kidney. How many kidneys have you got, Kels?
2, I think.
Let's have a look. Quah.
What
Nice
you could
kidneys.
do is, you could sell one. Listen, you could get a nice little...
Sorry, Catherine, yes.
I'm thinking of like a scam.
Yeah.
Sell one, get
Yeah.
a transplant. Sell that one, get a transplant.
Mate, I don't want to milk the kidney system. Can you milk a kidney?
Probably.
British patients desperate for kidney transplants are buying organs off of penniless donors on Facebook. Facebook. There's not a page on Facebook, WeBuyAnyKidney.com.
Sellyourorgans.com.
Criminals have cashed in on the illegal trade by setting up deals across the globe. One fixer in Sri Lanka.
Oh.
I know some people say Sri Lanka.
I know people who say Sri Lanka.
Idiots. Sri Lanka. Offered to organise a transplant there for £75,000. But some poverty-stricken donors... I don't know why I'm laughing. I do know why I'm laughing. I do know why I'm laughing, because I've worked out what the phone-in is. How much would you sell your kidney for? What's the lowest you take? What's your best price for cash on a kidney? 03459 455 555. Some poverty-stricken donors sell their organs for as little as £1,200. I wouldn't go that low. I reckon the best I could do for cash on a kidney, I'd go 10 grand. I'd go £8,500.
What, all in?
Yeah. £8,500. That's my best price for cash. What's the best price for cash for one of your kidneys?
For a kidney? Well, I'd be scarred. I've still got a couple of bikini years in me.
It's keyhole surgery now, mate.
Oh, really?
It's all keyholes.
Okay, boom, I'm in.
They put it in your keyhole and turn the lock.
I'd swap it for a house.
Well, that's more than 75. You're way off. Right, you're out.
Why?
You're out of kidney poker.
Someone might really want my kidney, and I'd be like, okay, give me a house.
But that
unfurnished.
Oh, fair play. Fair play.
Okay, she's not unreasonable.
No. What's the cheapest you do for cash for a kidney?
Bungalow.
Bungalow roof on it. That's where it comes from.
I reckon mine's probably
Use your finger like everyone else.
I think I might have given mine a bit of a hammering.
Work it out with a pencil. Give them what? What are we talking about now?
My kidneys.
Okay.
Having taken a hammering over the years. I think they're probably... That's probably about 20 grand's worth there.
50 quid and a bag of chips. Oh, I made myself cackle. I'm cackling a lot these days.
All right, yeah. Throw in a jumbo sausage as well. We're in.
£20,000 for one of your manky kidneys. I'm not being... That's what I'm saying. She's from up north. 8.5 grand. What's the cheapest, dear listener, you'd do for cash for a kidney? The British Kidney Patient Association...
I know people who were on the list who would pay for a kidney at this point.
...said it is a trade in human misery. The only people to gain are the brokers and the middlemen and the people that get the kidney. Let's be honest. Let's not... people are so desperate. I mean, there is a serious point to this. We're making slight light of the subject. But there are people who are desperate for a kidney.
Who'd pay, I think.
Who would pay? Who would pay top dollar? If I was desperate for a kidney, if one of my family was, I would pay. How much do you want? Right, I'll sort it out.
But do you know that once you've had that, then you're on borrowed time anyway? You're going to need another transplant at some point. Because when I was a kid growing up, they always talked about kidney transplant as if it was a one-off thing. It's not.
No, you can last for years now.
No, because it's a second-hand... It's a spare part.
You can last for like decades with a fake kidney.
Yeah, or you could last 5 years and need a new one.
Doesn't your body reject it after a while?
No. It either rejects it straight away.
Or after a while.
I thought it was after a while.
Well, only after a while because it's a second-hand part. Someone else has had a go on.
So the answer to the answer you gave was no.
Well, it's not your body rejecting it. It's wearing out.
That is yes.
Your body realises that there's a foreign part in there that's not yours, so it pushes it out.
No,
steady.
It's not like that. It's that it starts to wear out because it's already been used.
Steady, girls. Can we keep talking about kidneys? How did it get so mucky? Above the belt, please. Are kidneys above the belt?
About the right.
They can be.
Depends on your belt.
I'm bailing out of that conversation.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Well, the M1 heading northbound is rather slow due to a broken down car just at junction 6A for the M25. And in Tring, getting reports of obstruction on the road on the A41 just around London Road. And queuing on the M25 anti-clockwise, heading between junction 21 for the M1 and junction 16 for the M40. I'm Nicola Richards with BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Nicola. So what's your best price for cash? People who are nothing special. And if you fancy a game of rock, scissors and paper, you're more than welcome to. At BBC 3CR, you can watch Justin having his mind blown by one of the simplest games in the world.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 8 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: family and friends campaign to free Hertfordshire man, Cameron's speech on extremism, and Beds police highlight protection order.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The family of a Hertfordshire man convicted of causing his son serious physical harm is protesting his innocence. 34-year-old Matthew Chalice from Bishop Stortford began a 3-year prison sentence early this month. Friends, including Samantha Freight, have started a petition against his conviction.
It's not just Matt that's feeling this pain, it's his son, it's Ollie's mother, Danielle, their family, their friends, and the petition so far has proved that. It's over 1,100 people now that have signed, and I would say 90% of those are all people that know Matt.
David Cameron will use a speech in Birmingham today to try to dissuade people from travelling to join Islamic State militants in Syria and Iraq. The Prime Minister's aides say it's the most significant speech he's ever given on the subject of extremism, but he will accept that many people born in this country don't identify with the UK. These young Muslims in Luton agree.
I understand why people are angry, but I do think it's a bit extreme, beheading people and burning people alive. I don't think it's going to get to a stage where ISIS will actually come into this country, but at the same time they shouldn't be making new laws, because a lot of Muslims and a lot of Asians would kind of feel discriminated.
The Muslim community feels isolated. They feel isolated and they feel the government's not in touch with the Muslim community as such.
Police in Bedfordshire seized a large number of motorbikes and quad bikes and arrested a number of people in a major operation involving the police helicopter yesterday. The riders were seen driving dangerously in the Caxton Road area of Bedford just after midday. Officers tracked the riders, who made their way along the A6 and A421 towards Milton Keynes, as well as the A1 at Sandy. Fire crews in Hertfordshire have been tackling a blaze in a field in Ware overnight. 30 tonnes of hay and an area of stubble were alight in Fanhams Hall Road. Crews were called just after 7:30 last night, with the fire not dealt with until 3:30 this morning. The first protection order to prevent female genital mutilation has been secured by Bedfordshire Police. It prevents the travel of 2 young girls who police believe may be at risk of being taken to Africa for the procedure. Detective Inspector Sean Basra is from Beds Police.
It does prevent those girls from being taken abroad. We had those concerns. There were genuine concerns that they may be subject to female genital mutilation, and this order gives us and partners the opportunity to make sure that the girls are safe.
The M40 was closed in both directions in Buckinghamshire yesterday afternoon after a horse escaped from an overturned horse box. Firefighters caught the animal and rescued a second horse that was still stuck inside. It happened between junctions 2 and 3 just after 3 p.m. In sport, Irish amateur Paul Dunn, who qualified at Woburn, is the joint leader of the Open Golf going into today's final round at St Andrews, only the second Monday finish in 155 years. And Watford rounded off their pre-season trip to Germany yesterday with a 2-0 win over Paderborn, with goals from Matteo Vidra and Odion Igalo. The weather cloudy with some patchy rain this morning, some sunny intervals this afternoon, feeling warm and humid, a maximum temperature 25 degrees Celsius. And you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
What are you beefing on about?
This is Iain Lee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
I forgot where I was. I was talking about 8:30 to someone, so I thought it was 8:30. That's how dumb I am today. Morning, guys. Iain Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio. What's the best price for cash for your kidney, sir? People who are nothing special. If you fancy a game of rock, scissors and paper, I'm your man. 03459 455 555.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
David says on Twitter, foreign kidneys coming over here, taking our jobs. I don't think you've quite understood the thing. Tony says, I would sell my kids' knees for a mobility scooter. What? Oh. And there was something else as well. 03459 455 555 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. 81333. Start your text 3CR or ian.lee@bbc.co.uk. We spoke to Sian Moles earlier on. She's a St Albans dog walker who felt that she had no choice to intervene when she saw a young puppy being shocked with an electric dog collar. She spotted a young basset hound looking distressed, so she confronted the owner. And when the conversation didn't go the way she wanted to, she grabbed the remote control for the electric shock and threw it in the canal, thereby rendering it useless. The use of shock collars is not illegal in England. Well, Karen Tongue is a qualified puppy instructor and dog trainer from Hemel Hempstead and joins me now. Morning, Karen.
Good morning, Ian.
What do you
you're getting a dog?
Well, no, let's calm down. It's being discussed, although we had the passing of a rabbit last week, so I've gone off pets for a little bit.
I was going to say it'll get you down to a 34-inch waist.
Oh, yeah, I know. It'll get me walking. A cockapoo is what I'm looking at.
Lovely.
Electric shock collars, what are your thoughts on them?
Well, I am very much in the against team, really. And it's not a sort of a lonely voice, Karen Torrent, I'm against the world. I think your sort of researcher was saying there's lots of other associations who are anti. The Kennel Club are against it, the RSPCA, the Blue Cross, the Dogs Trust, Wood Green, Battersea Dogs Home, my association, the Association of Pet Dog Trainers, the Pet Professional Guild. So all of these, associations who work with dogs see the damage that can be left by shock collars.
Why are they so bad?
Because you don't need them.
That's not now. I'm going to pick Karen. Let me pick you up on this. I'm not going to. That's not an answer because you don't need them. That doesn't mean. That doesn't say that they're bad.
Well, if you don't need to use something that causes pain, and there are other methods of training, why would we want to use them? If I can train a dog to, instead of suppressing a dog doing something that I don't like and feeling that I've got to wait for it to do it and then zap it or punish it, why don't I instead think, what do I want my dog to do instead? How can I train that in that dog? How can I reward it for doing that? And then we don't have this sort of confrontational...
But how much does it hurt the dog? I mean, obviously it shocks them, but does it hurt them?
If it doesn't, then it doesn't work. It's got to stop a behaviour. So it's quite interesting. When you were talking to Sian and you sort of did say to her, so it would work, and she said yes, it's all a bit muddled because this woman was apparently calling her dog to her. It wasn't coming. It was being zapped. And then I don't know about you, but trying to learn something while you're in pain is a very stressful thing to do. I don't think that dog knew what was required of it at all. And what can happen, with sort of shock, when a dog gets shocked, it's got no idea what's caused the pain. It's far more likely to think it's something around it rather than the behaviour that it's actually doing at the time. And they can feel as if they're under attack, they want to protect themselves, and quite a lot of dogs will then attack another dog or their owner or an animal close by when they're being shocked.
Karen, stay there. I want to bring... I just want to bring in Mick Martin, who's a dog trainer from Stevenage, into the conversation. Mick, these things are cruel and barbaric.
Hello, Mick.
Yeah, I agree. I have seen them being used by a trainer in Wales who used to stop dogs worrying sheep, and he's a totally professional trainer. People go to him used to go to him from all over the country, and he used to stop dogs who were high drive dogs who used to chase sheep and would kill the sheep. So in the hands of someone like that who knows what he's doing, who am I to say he's doing it wrong? But with a normal pet owner with a little puppy in the park is ridiculous.
So why do people then use it, Mick?
Well, because it's there, really. I mean, like the other lady said, this woman's put a collar on to try and train a recall. Well, you can do that with a piece of cheese. You could just train the dog to cut. It's a puppy anyway, and why would you use something like that on a puppy?
This is the thing I can't get my head around, and I am considering getting a dog. I'm coming over to the dark side. But
it's the light side.
Don't say that to my poor cat. But Mick, why do people do it then? Do they see it as the quick and easy alternative? Is it the shortcut to training dogs? Is that how people perceive it?
I think it is. I think people probably think if they have a remote control like they would for their television, they can remote control train their dog. Well, it's totally nothing like a television. Even the other trainer has just described how if you do a recall, and you zap the dog, it's going to think that the pain's come from somewhere else and maybe run away or attack another dog. And what you want is a positive experience. You want the dog to learn that when he comes back to you, it's a good thing, not that if it stays out there, it's going to get hurt.
Karen, where are people getting this idea from then? Are they seeing it on like Amazon or something and going, "Oh, that looks easy," or are there unscrupulous dog trainers that are promoting this as the way forward?
I think it's possibly a bit of both. I think if you go into any dog park, you have lots of dog owners who are all experienced dog owners and give out advice from what they've seen on the telly, or try this or try that. And, I would imagine, and I really hope that lady does love her dog. You would hope that. She's obviously having challenges, and she's trying to do it. She has got this information from, I don't know, I'm pretty upset if it is a trainer, but we are an unregulated industry, so, anybody can really set themselves up as a dog trainer. But, I would, and I did say in the Hearts ad that I would give her free lessons. I will welcome her. I'm not going to judge her on what she's done beforehand. I run recall workshops, and she will have a blast. She will have fun, and so will her puppy, and she will get a really good, reliable recall.
Mick,
so
have you ever...
out there?
Well, we'll see. Mick, have you ever tried one of these collars on yourself?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
What does it feel like? How big's the shock?
As part of the instructor training, what we do is we have a large amount of equipment that we bring in. We train all the trainers to have a look at all the equipment so that they understand what this stuff is. So if a client turned up, say that lady turned up and she had an electric collar, we'd have to explain to them how there's easier ways. So to make that more dramatic and let everyone know what the score is, we try it on ourselves. So usually it's either 1 to 9 or 10, 20, 30 to 90. So it comes in 9 stages. 1 to 3, you can usually take it. It's a small tingling sort of sensation.
Yeah.
Once you get to 5, it's uncomfortable. 6 to 7, it's hurting. Anything 8 or 9. And it depends how close you are to the remote control. If you're standing right next to the remote, it's going to be a lot worse than it is if you're standing 100 yards away. So if the dog's coming towards you on that recall and she's zapping it, remember, as the dog's coming towards it, as the dog is coming towards the handler, it's getting worse. So she, clearly, there's no knowledge there as to how this thing even works.
Mick, on a completely selfish tangent, cockapoo, is that the way forward for a lazy man with 2 kids?
I think if I was Iain Lee, I would get a cockapoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, hang on a minute. Now, I know we've got history. You're saying that with a you're saying that with a tone in your voice. What does he mean, Karen?
I don't know.
Iain, I was apparently described as the maddest man on television, and
you were bonkers. Fair play. That was 10 years ago, and you were bonkers.
Let you live it down, mate. So, cockapoo, please come up to the training ground. I'd love to see you handling the cockapoo.
I bet you'd love to see me handling.
Poo. Yeah, thank you.
Well, I'm glad you went for that one. Karen, Mick, it's nice to talk to you both. Thank you very much indeed. Well, Mick's TV show, which I think was on BBC Three, Dog Borstal, he was bonkers in it. Come on. And I was on a TV show. It was about, I'm guessing, 10 years ago. About 10 years ago, and I was a bit rude about Mick on there. But he still comes on, so he's a good sport. Thank you, Mick. Thank you, Karen. So there we go. 2 of the leading dog trainers in the country, I'm going to say, saying that these electric shock collars are not a good idea. So why would anyone use them? Really? It's the same argument as giving your kids a slap, isn't it? I had a row on Sky yesterday with one of the hosts who said it was all right to hit your kids. I said, no, of course it's not. But they need to learn respect, yeah? Well, then they learn that through fear. No. Respect and fear, there can be a correlation, but there shouldn't be. I respect doctors. I don't fear them. And it's the same thing with dogs, isn't it? We shouldn't have to zap them to do that. It's a bit lazy. 03459 455 555 is the phone number. I don't know why I'm giving it out. No one's calling in. I can take the hint, guys. We might have to start phoning out for people.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Well, the A1M are looking quite slow moving at the moment, heading southbound between Junction 8 for Stevenage North and Junction 7 at Stevenage South. The M1's looking slow. It's due to a broken down car just at Junction 6A for the M25. And in Tring, the A41 northbound, we're getting reports of obstruction on the road just at London Road. And the M25 very heavy moving anti-clockwise between Junction 24 for Potters Bar and Junction 23 for the A1M. And queuing on the M40 heading out of town from the Denham roundabout to the Swakeleys roundabout. I'm Nicola Richards with BBC Three Counties Radio.
I'm doing a radio show, Jonathan. I'm doing. I'm trying to. I'm doing a radio show.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh, that's what it is.
Just as Nicola's finishing the travel, get this right. Just as Nicola's finishing the travel, he leans over. Am I allowed to say what you were going to show me and why you were going to show it to me?
Yeah, I'll show you it now while you're talking.
He leans over to show me a picture of his dog. Right?
Picture of his baby, isn't it?
She's a year.
Yeah, she's a year old today.
Happy birthday.
No. But that's just a picture of a dog. There's no hat. There's no party blower.
It's my dog. She's a year.
I noticed the one on Twitter. She's beautiful. Trim.
She is. Yeah, I don't
and
want
a bit
fat
blue.
Labrador.
On Twitter, did you use some sort of filter?
My little,
right.
Yeah, no, I gave her a Phyllis Pierce rinse.
Oh, nice.
With the
for birthday.
Oh, Phyllis.
That still makes my gran laugh.
Guys, can I, with a great respect, if you want to have that conversation...
Yeah, but in many ways, this was part of the headlines.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Shall I continue?
Yeah, go.
Thanks very much. Okay, right, here we go. 8:16, and these are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. Jonathan Vernon Smith's dog is one today.
You tell my Saturday morning from 6. David Prever.
Are you surprised to hear of people still leaving their dogs in cars in hot weather?
No, I'm not really. I think they're uneducated.
What did you do?
Broke the window at the back, the small, like a little quarter-light window, and I thought, I'll steal it on the Sweeney. You know, you put your elbow through. That
the Sweeney? Well,
David Prever.
hang on. Kristen, you've got to calm down.
I'd have plenty of water with me and my sun hat on and everything.
It's Prince Philip, who was a little bit agitated in the heat yesterday.
Drop the RAF word, I think, is the phrase.
If your weekend diary is looking empty and you're thinking, what shall I do? Let me fill it up for you.
David Prever. Every Saturday morning from 6 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Cockapoo's that.
No, it's going to get bigger than that.
Oh, that cockapoo is no bigger than that.
Yeah.
I can deal with that. That's smaller than a Labrador.
That is what you're holding there.
Well,
yes,
this is.
right.
You said they're the same size.
Well, I've got a small Labrador.
But you'll grow big.
No,
they do.
She's quite small.
They grow. Dogs grow.
She's a working Labrador. I wouldn't suggest you get one of those.
Oh, really? She works. What?
She'd like to work.
She
yes.
turns tricks for cash.
She'd like to be. She'd like
Just
to be
call
on
this dog a prostitute. I know, isn't that awful?
She'd like to be on the conveyor belt at Heathrow Airport, sniffing cocaine.
Oh, wouldn't we all?
If she had the chance,
wouldn't we all? Really, it's so Moorish.
Yeah.
So it's her birthday today.
Yes.
Is she listening?
She will be listening, yeah. She has you on every morning, yeah.
Then we can't mention any potential presents that she may be getting that Daddy may have got her later on. No, I'm thinking about getting a cockapoo because I want something small that was friendly with the kids. But then you told me that they're mad dogs.
Yeah, they are quite mad.
In what way?
I mean, they're the kind of dogs that, sorry to offend anyone that's got... They're the kind of dogs that slightly bonkers people get.
Well, you just said that Tara, the producer of Roberto's show, has got one.
Tara Gungerful has a cockapoo, yeah.
I see your point.
Yeah.
Now, I've done a lot of research into this.
Yeah.
In as much as I typed in cockapoo and went to Google Images.
Mm-hmm.
And from the pictures, it looks like it's the ideal dog for me.
Yeah, well, that's the best way to really tell. Just
Beautiful.
Look at pictures of the
Okay.
dog.
Nice one.
Are you sure you thought this one through? They're quite a lot of work.
That'd be fun.
Right.
You can give them medicine to make them sleep.
Yeah.
Shock them with the collar to make sure.
Will you bring it in every morning? Will you have a bed in the studio?
No, because I don't believe in bringing dogs to work. Only weirdos do it, and only weirdos suggest it. Well, yours isn't out there, is it? Special birthday treat. Come and see where Daddy works.
No, mine's not. I'll tell you why. Because she's a little monkey, and sometimes she still does a little wee.
Oh,
Are you carpet? You've not got carpet, have you?
No.
That's good.
I'd love a little monkey. I prefer a monkey dressed as a bellboy serving me cocktails. Can you still get those?
No.
That's a shame. That's political correctness gone mad. What's on your show?
You had a good holiday, didn't you? It's done you good, I can see.
Oh, it's done me a lot of good, yeah.
Got some colour in your cheeks. You've been sitting in the garden, haven't you?
I've gone up a waist size. I've bought these. These are 36. I had to buy some bigger jeans. 30, and I've gone up in pant size.
In pants?
No,
Don't wink at me like that.
Because of the wastage. the waist.
The waist.
There was I've gone up in waist size.
You've got a fat bottom.
Thank you. It's the kindest thing you've ever said. What are you doing a show this morning?
I thought I might.
Do you know what you're going to talk about?
Do you want to finish at 9? I'll take over.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
This morning we're talking about, it's a story that kind of was around very much on Saturday, and it's still all over the front page of the papers today. The Sun published footage recorded in 1933 showing the Queen as a child of about 6 performing a Nazi salute at Balmoral. Yeah. The Queen Mother and the then Prince of Wales, who became Edward VIII, were also shown making the same gesture. Buckingham Palace says it's disappointed that a film, apparently from the Queen's personal family archive, had been obtained and exploited. Well, The Sun has defended its decision to publish the photographs, saying it was an important document of social history. Well, from 9 this morning, I want to hear your reaction to this. Certainly when I heard this story on Saturday, I was horrified, absolutely horrified, and I noticed today the royal family are considering taking legal action against The Sun as a result of this. Well, from 9 this morning, I want your views, your reaction. Was The Sun right to publish pictures of the Queen doing the Nazi salute? Your calls, your reaction on 03459 455 555 from 9.
This is Iain Lee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Is that message for me on the screen? Yeah. Well, what am I supposed to... thank you. John's in Datchworth. Morning, John. John? Are you sure that message is for me?
Yes, it was. Where's John gone?
John?
Hang on a second.
John?
Put your fader down a second.
Oh, for crying out loud. Okay. He's gone, mate.
Right, let's phone him back.
Hang on a second. I can fill the time.
Oonga, 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 shanga, oonga, oonga, oonga.
I think that is a ridiculous
Hello, John.
idea.
I'm going to put...
Me too. John's coming through live. Is John there now?
Yes.
Fader 2. Good morning, John.
Hello, young man.
Oh, well, may God bless you, sir. What happened? Did you bottle it?
No, I heard Mr. Jonathan Vernon Smith. It went all crackly, and then he cut me off.
Yeah, that was our fault. We didn't want to talk to you. But do you know what, John? I feel guilty about that. And so I'm welcoming you back with open arms. Thanks for accepting my apology. What have you called in for?
Cockapoos.
Yes?
When we walk our dog, we regularly meet 2 or 3 of those, and they are absolutely balmy.
Well, what do you mean by balmy?
They tear around. They just scatty. Got loads and loads of energy. So if you want lots of long walks, get one of those.
Well, but I don't mind lots of long walks. I mean, but if I have a cockapoo at home, first of all, will it get on with my kids?
Yeah, they are quite friendly dogs. We've got a miniature schnauzer.
I'm sorry to hear that. I think you can get that sorted now.
The cream is quite cooling.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife walks probably 6 or 7 miles most mornings, and then about 3 or 4 miles in the evenings we go when I get home from work. So.
See, I don't listen. As I've said this morning, I've gone up a waist size, not a chest size. Blimey, I've gone up a waist size, and so I'm kind of keen to get out there and walk and walk and walk. So I'm not bothered about that. Is it going to be obedient? That's what. Is it going to do what I tell it to do, like sit and stuff?
The ones in the village that we meet, they seem to be.
Oh, John, we're losing you. I think we got your point. He's John has disappeared. I think he's being censored by the dog Nazis. It's an appropriate word at the moment. What with the Queen giving it the old heave-ho and stuff,
or appearing to.
Well,
they could have been being Romans.
Here's the no, come on, because we all know he was. But
exactly.
Here's the thing. I don't think it's that big a story. I don't know what child does something that relative.
Years later is deemed inappropriate.
Yeah, I mean the Nazis in the when was this 1930?
38.
Okay, so they were still up to no good.
He'd just become Chancellor. He was a bit of a joke. Everyone was doing impressions.
But they were up to no good. Edward was probably bang into all that stuff. But
do you think I don't think he was all that clued up, Edward, at that point. He was a playboy, wasn't he? He was messing around.
A lot of the royal. Now the Sun are doing this. We want to see inside the royal files. None of your business. I think the interesting story on that is who nicked the film.
Yeah.
Who went into the Queen's secret vault and stole her 16mm films.
The latest I heard this morning was that it might have been a documentary maker, and the palace might have handed it over by accident.
In that case.
But then there would be some sort of contract between them as to what it was used for. Surely they can't just hand it onto a paper.
The Queen would have signed a release. Queen would have signed a release. Right, 03459 455 555. Now, we mentioned this when I was away. I know it was spoken... we mentioned this before I went away, excuse me. And I know that it was spoken about last week when Justin was filling in. Penn School. 2 days left before the final deadline. Parents fighting the closure of Penn School have put their business case to administrators. The special school went into administration out of the blue. As far as the families were concerned, everything was fine and dandy. There may have been a few problems. Then last week, it's being closed. They've told it'll take £1 million to see it back open in September. Well, Amanda Burgess is one of the parents and joins me now. Morning, Amanda.
Good morning, Lee. Ian,
That's
sorry.
all right. No, don't worry, that's all right. It's me being silly and having two first names. Has anything happened over the weekend?
Oh, there's just been so much happening. Apart from the fundraising continuing, just stories and things are coming out about how poorly parents have been treated over the last few weeks and months, and that the school and Buckinghamshire County Council have basically known the school is closing for a year. The school's been refusing help from different parties to have the school done up, etc. So we're looking into all of these stories at the moment, but we're looking into all of them.
You've heard that the council knew for a year it was going to close.
That's what we've been informed. So we're looking into all of these things that we're being informed of to see whether they're true or not.
You need £1 million to get the school running. Are you anywhere close?
Well, we're still a long way off. So the reality of getting the £1 million seems a very long shot at the moment. Yeah.
Who do you blame for this, Amanda? Who are you and the rest of the parents, angry with?
The parents we're angry with, the trustees. The trustees are the ones that put the school into administration. They have known for ages that this is the case. The existing chair of governors, who resigned in June through ill health, but she was very paramount in all of this. Absolutely furious with her. She was all part of this, and the leadership. The head teacher completely is to blame.
Here's the thing that I think is really sneaky about this, and there's quite a lot of this that makes it quite a stinky story. But here's the thing: the fact that you were told with less than 2 weeks to go before the end of term. That's what I think is the really naughty part of this.
That's right. And the government knew on the 19th of June. And funny enough, I've just had an email this second, about 2 minutes ago, from Nicky Morgan's office, basically washing their hands of it because it was a non-maintained school, which meant it's not a government school, and therefore they can do nothing. We've just all got to work for the well-being of our children. But interestingly enough, the well-being of our children would have been to stay at Penn, not to be looking around the country at other schools that are few and far between.
Catherine, who am I speaking to after the show? We're pre-recording an interview for tomorrow's show about this. Who am I speaking to?
Stephen Baker, who is the Conservative MP for High Wycombe. So that's the constituency that the school falls into.
And have you spoken to, or do you know if anyone's spoken to Stephen Baker MP, Amanda?
No, I believe nobody's managed to actually speak to him. I've contacted him various times with no luck whatsoever. I haven't even had a reply. One of the parents has had a reply, but again, it's coming back from the government, very bland. And from him particularly, he can hear what we're saying, but that's it.
Nothing to do with me, Gov. Amanda, we are going to speak to him. I think I'm talking to him at 11:30 this morning. We'll play it tomorrow. If there was one question, Amanda, you could ask him, or one thing you could say to him, what would you want to say or ask?
Just why are they not thinking about the children and what is best for them? They talk the talk, but they are not actually listening to us parents. I'd like to have a face-to-face with him. We'd like him to lobby Nicky Morgan to have a meeting with her so we can talk face-to-face. They keep saying it's not their problem because it was a business, it's a private school, but the majority of those children, I think bar 2 or 3, were funded through the government. I don't pay for my son to go there, the government does, so therefore the government has a responsibility. So why on earth are they just letting this happen? And I do not understand it.
Catherine?
Now, the reason we want to talk to Steve Baker, we've been pursuing this for, all last week.
He was a little bit reluctant to come on.
But hopefully we'll speak to him at 11:30. I don't see why there'd be a problem. But anyway, so we're going to try and speak to him because he put kind of supportive messages on his blog. This is the latest blog post about Penn School. It says, this morning, this is dated, I can't see when it's dated. July 17th. This morning, so that's Friday. This morning I've had confirmation from Bucks County Council it is actively working with parents to find places at new schools for current Penn School students. The council's been in touch with the Special Education Needs and Disability team at the Department for Education, and the department has endorsed the actions the council is taking. 15 children from Bucks are affected by the closure, 8 of whom live in the Wickham constituency. A number have already been found new places for September. I will be monitoring the situation to ensure suitable places are found for everyone and to offer the council whatever help I can.
Which is all well and good, but actually a lot of those schools that have been offered to the children are not appropriate places. So the council has done their element, as in they have managed to find a place for a child, but it is not necessarily the place the parent sees as being appropriate for their child and will fully meet that child's educational needs.
And these kids, they have got varying degrees of they're autistic children, there are deaf kids, is that right?
Yeah.
These kids need a lot of help, basically, don't they?
They're very complex needs children. They do not easily fit into one box and tick the box to go to an autistic school or a deaf school. They're very complex needs children, and that was what Penn specialised in and what they were expert in. And that has now been lost for all the future children with those communication needs and difficult needs as well. Not just the children that are losing their places now, it's all those future children that will come up and they will not have anywhere to go to school that will meet their needs fully.
Amanda, I'm going to speak to this MP at 11:30, fingers crossed. I know he wasn't particularly keen. He didn't like the tone of some of our tweets and bits and pieces, quite sure what that's got to do with anything. There's no tone in them. But we're going to speak to him later on. I tell you what, why don't we get you on tomorrow? You can listen to the interview and then you can have your say afterwards. How about that?
Okay, that's lovely.
Would you be up for that?
I would, yeah. I just want to say we are still fighting. We're meeting again tonight, another parents' meeting tonight. We're hoping to meet with the trustees, with Deloitte, we're still fighting. I've also emailed all of the people that I blame personally for causing this for an apology, including Steve Baker in that email. And
hang on a second. Catherine, why have we had no one from the school come on? I've been away for a week, so I've kind of missed it.
We've approached the trustees. The trustees have told us that the administrators have forbidden them from speaking. The administrators have told us that they've done nothing.
Yeah, of course they haven't. Give me let me phone someone after the show. Let me phone someone.
Get the numbers. There was also an episode last week where you went for a meeting at the school and were refused entry, weren't you?
Yeah, that was last Monday. We all turned up and I'd had an email from Deloitte at 3:00 to say yes, it's definitely on. And I said, great, I'm leaving now. It takes me 2 hours to get there from where I am. And at 4:45 when I arrived, I'd had an email partway through my journey to say it's all cancelled. The doors were locked. But luckily there were some teachers around, and they managed to go indoors, find Deloitte, and they came down and then agreed we could come in.
Amanda, listen, I have to go because I'm late for the travel and stuff. Let's talk tomorrow. I'll make some phone calls, see if we can get anyone to come on the show from the school. Bit cowardly not to, really, guys. A little bit cowardly not to come on and address the issues of these parents, really. And we'll speak to that MP and we'll see where that gets us. Right, we're a bit late. BBC Three Counties Radio. Let's get the travel.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Well, it's slow moving on the M1, heading southbound between junction 12 for Flitwick and junction 9 for Redbourne. Also seeing delays on the M1 at junction 6A for the M25. It's all due to a broken down car there. And queuing on the M25 anti-clockwise between junction 21 for the M1 and junction 16 for the M40. And also the A1 is queuing heading between Holiday Inn and Stirling Corner. No problems to report on the trains. I'm Nicola Richards with BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's get the news with Mr. Simon Oxley.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Cyclist died and another was seriously injured after a collision on the A421 between Milton Keynes and Buckingham yesterday afternoon. The family of a Hertfordshire man convicted of causing his son serious physical harm is protesting his innocence, and David Cameron will use a speech in Birmingham today to try to dissuade people from travelling to join Islamic State militants in Syria and Iraq.
Three Counties Sport.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Irish amateur Paul Dunne is the joint leader of the Open Golf going into today's final round at St Andrews, only the second Monday finish in 155 years. Dunne, who qualified at Woburn, is joined on 12 under by former winner Louis Oosthuizen and Australia's Jason Day, with Jordan Spieth, who's trying to win a third major in a row, just a shot behind.
In my mind right now, it's about just trying to win this golf tournament. We were able to close a tournament last week when I was in a pretty similar position to this, and I've got another really good chance, and so I can really draw back on not only the U.S. Open and the Masters in major championship contention, but also on these tournaments that we've been playing in between and been able to close the deal. So, it can happen again.
England captain Alistair Cook says yesterday's 405-run defeat by Australia at Lords was not acceptable. The Ashes series is now level at 1-1. Here's Jonathan Agnew.
England stress that they won't panic and be pushed into making changes, but there's plenty to discuss when the selectors meet tomorrow. Lyth, Bell and Balance all appear to be lacking confidence as well as runs, while Moeen's wickets are picked up only when batsmen get too ambitious. Cook denied that there's a deliberate plan to produce slow pitches to negate Johnson and Stark, but this one was devoid of any pace, negating England's seam attack, while the Australians were as effective as ever. A lack of wickets, a lack of runs, and a lack of appetite against the short ball. There's much to ponder.
In football, Watford rounded off their pre-season trip to Germany yesterday with a 2-0 win over Paderborn, with goals from Mateo Vidra and Odion Igalo. Also yesterday, Boreham Wood lost 3-0 at home to Brentford. Tonight, MK Dons go to Chesham. Luton are at Gosport. And Andy Murray has taken Britain to a first Davis Cup semi-final in 34 years after victory over France at Queen's Club, with Murray clinching the win by beating Gilles Simon in 4 sets. Murray and Britain will face Australia in the semi-finals in September. BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 9.
This is Iain Lee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Morning. So we were going to. What's this? I feel we should do these things out on air, not to denigrate anyone, but just let everyone. We should do our working outs.
Yeah,
workings
definitely.
out or working outs.
Workings out, I would say.
We should show our workings outs on air. We have been speaking this morning. It's been in the news about Matthew Chalice, 34-year-old from Bishop Stortford, began a 3-year prison sentence. He was accused of shaking his 4-month-old baby boy and causing damage that caused him to have a fit. Mm-hmm. Him and his family and people protest his innocence. We spoke to Samantha Freight, who's a friend of the family, who said there was evidence that he was innocent. And we were supposed to be speaking to Matthew's former partner, have I got that right? The mother of the boy.
The baby's mum, who is speaking out in defence of him and saying that he didn't do anything of the sort, and that to suggest that he'd harmed his boy is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we're getting no answer on any of her phones.
We had 3 numbers, is that right?
Yeah, we did.
For her, and we've tried all 3. And
one switched off, one is an answer phone, and one, I don't know what's going on.
So I make of that what you will. I'm not drawing any conclusions
from that. It may be a
that.
Technical error.
But 3 phones, technical error on 3 phones seems unlikely.
Shall I try again?
Yeah, please do, Kelly. I'll turn your microphone off. Please do. What I make up from that is that I kind of asked Samantha some slightly tricky questions. I don't think it was particularly aggressive with the interview with Samantha. I asked some slightly tricky questions as to how a court and a jury could find someone innocent, but yet they could find someone guilty. Excuse me. But the family and friends thought he was innocent. I asked what the evidence was, and she said, "Well, that's not up for me to say. I'll let this woman do it."
Yeah, she kind of kicked it forward for Danielle, didn't she?
And Danielle's not answering. And maybe she bottled it. Maybe she got angry with what was said. Maybe there is a technical problem. We just don't know.
Maybe she forgot.
Those
but you
are
would
all,
think if it was that important, you wouldn't forget.
Those are all potential options. So who knows? We'll keep trying. 03459 455 555 is the phone number if you want to give us a call. So it turns out it's true, Catherine.
What's true?
What I've been saying this whole time. What do you do if a shark attacks?
You stick your finger up its...
No, that's if a dog bites.
Oh, right.
And the block of wood is if a crocodile attacks you, you punch it. Mm. And there's a fella who punched a shark and he survived it. Jaws breaker, like it, boom. Top surfer punches shark to escape attack. A surfing champ has an amazing brush with a monster shark, and escapes by punching it. Tough Aussie. They're all tough, the Aussies.
They all sound tough.
I'm flaming tough, Justin. Give me another tinny, otherwise I'm going to punch you in the balls.
Like the accent. Very
Thank
smooth.
you. So this is Australian.
Mm.
Tough Aussie Mick Fanning belted the Jaws brute, mean shark, after it closed in on him in the final of a tournament. And after his narrow escape, he clamped his hand to his head in relief. Clamped his hand? Saying, "I'm happy to never compete again." The shark grabbed the leg rope attaching Mick to the board and began to drag him down under, as he paddled out to sea in South Africa. Describing the scare, the 3-times world champ said, "I saw fins and was waiting for the teeth. I punched it a couple of times and the rope broke. I can't believe it, mate." So, tough times in Wallavaloo Bay.
He was on TV last night talking about this, and obviously he punched the shark, which was the right thing to do, but afterwards it kind of calmed down, the adrenaline had left his body, and he was on TV just crying, and I thought, wow, there is a man who has quite literally almost been eaten by a shark. He survived, and to see him on TV crying, I felt emotional last night watching him, I have to say.
You are a very, very emotional person, it has to be said. Justin, something's just popped up. Can I come back to you after the news?
Whenever you want, boss.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed. And I just can't quite see the script that I'm supposed to be seeing. Where would I find that script? Where have you put it? Oh, there it is. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, we were talking about Matthew Chalice and how we were trying to get hold of Danielle, and we've got hold of Danielle. Danielle is on line 2. Morning, Danielle.
Morning.
So let's just recap this story. It's Matthew Chalice, 34, from Bishop Stortford. He recently started a 3-year sentence. He was found guilty of shaking yours and his baby boy and causing serious damage that resulted in a fit. You think he's innocent. You and your family and friends are taking a petition to Westminster. Why do you think he's innocent?
Just because I've only ever associated love between Ollie and his dad. You know, he's got such a protective nature in him. I just know that whoever was at home with Ollie that day, Ollie would have presented the exact same way. More medical evidence has come to light, which I can't discuss because of, obviously, I don't want to jeopardise the appeal. But
I don't think you telling us the evidence would jeopardise the appeal, would it?
Oh, it absolutely would. Believe you me.
Why is that?
Because if you disclose new evidence before it goes through the appeal, a member of the jury could be listening and they could be swayed. So I've been advised I mustn't speak about any new evidence.
Okay. But why wasn't this evidence presented in the initial court case?
Unfortunately, we sort of ran out of time. I mean, we found the new evidence. We needed to get new medical experts to come to court to obviously disclose it. But it was going to take between sort of 8 to 12 weeks to get those new medical experts in. And the judge said, we've spent too much time on the case. You know, it's in for this date and this is when it's going to happen.
Right, okay.
So, unfortunately, you know, it had gone on for 2 years, 3 months as it was.
What? Don't go into the specifics, but what's the nature of the evidence?
It's an underlying medical condition. That's all I'm going to say in regards to it, because I really don't want to be pushed for anything more than that.
Okay. Before you had that evidence, did you think he was innocent?
I did, yeah.
Tell me why.
Just because I know him as a person, you know,
Well,
I know a lot of people are going to sit there and say, you know, people do things, you know, they might lose their temper, etc. But like I said, from the minute that our little boy was born, I've only ever associated love between them. He adores that little boy, and my little boy adores him. He just wouldn't have done what he has been convicted of.
People do say that every time that someone does something. Though,
I can imagine that, but what you've got to take into consideration, Ollie is my son and he means the absolute world to me. No man would ever come in front of Ollie. If I thought that Matthew was guilty, I wouldn't be here protesting his innocence. I would want to see him locked up for a long time, and I certainly wouldn't let him around my son.
All this talk about Matthew being a nice guy and stuff, and he may be, and I don't know. I don't know the story. But he has been to prison in the past, hasn't he?
Yeah, for something which completely, it was a drug conviction,
Yeah.
which is something that's nothing to do
No,
with,
but
you
he's
know,
not-
child
he's-
abuse. People
No.
can't tie everyone with the same brush on their past, you know. People do change.
No, of course they do. But he isn't the angel that perhaps, you know, the image that's being presented to us this morning. He has got a past.
Everybody's got a past. I don't think you can call anybody an angel at the
No.
end of the day, and you can't.
Not everyone's got a past that involves going to prison, though, have they?
No, that's right. But there are obviously a lot of people that do go to prison, you know, that make mistakes. This was sort of 8 years ago. He made a mistake. He turned his life around. He's now been convicted of something to do with a child, which is completely different of being convicted to something to do with drugs. You know, like I said, it was a mistake what he did in the past.
When's the appeal? What's the process now, Danielle? How does it work?
Well, I'm actually off to meet a solicitor tomorrow morning to talk about the appeal.
Yeah.
And then hopefully I will have a timeline of how long things are going to take before it goes back to court.
And are you confident, Danielle, that you can overturn this decision that was made by a jury?
I am confident, yeah, only because of the new medical evidence that has come to light, you know.
Yeah. How's your son doing? That's the main thing, isn't it? How is he now? He's physically well, is he?
Yeah, he's doing really well, bless him. He's your average, happy, healthy 2.5-year-old.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, he's
they're hard work,
wonderful.
aren't they?
I know they are, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
They are. My youngest is 3.5, and they're the most fun. But flipping heck, they're hard work, aren't they?
They are hard work.
Listen, Danielle, I really appreciate you talking to us. And I appreciate you kind of, taking my. I'm just asking the questions that I guess some of the listeners would want to ask.
Yeah, I get that.
I hope the right thing happens for you and your family. I really, really do, and it'd be great if you could keep in touch and let us know, when the appeal is.
Oh, absolutely. I will keep you informed.
All right. Good luck to you and your boy. Thanks very much. Ta-ta. There we go. 03459 455 555. I hope the right thing happens. Where are we now? 8:46. Let's get the travel.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Seeing delays on the M1 southbound between junction 12 for Flitwick and junction 9 at Redbourne. And also on the A5, it's looking particularly slow on the sensors southbound between Kensworth and junction 9 for the M1. The M25 heading anti-clockwise, there's delays between junction 24 at Potters Bar and junction 23 for the A1M. And taking a look at the A1, that's queuing on camera between the Holiday Inn and Stirling Corner. And on the trains, delays of up to 20 minutes on Great Northern between Stevenage and Moorgate, and that's all due to a signalling problem. I'm Nicola Richards with BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Nicola. Where are we? 8:47, BBC Three Counties Radio. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines. The family of a Hertfordshire man convicted of causing his son serious physical harm is protesting his innocence. A motorcyclist has died and another was seriously injured after a collision on the A421 between Milton Keynes and Buckingham yesterday afternoon. Oh, and David Cameron's going to do something. Let's get the weather.
Beds, Herts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Good morning. It's a rather cloudy and gloomy start to the new week. There's a lot of lower cloud. There's some light rain and some drizzle, some heavy bursts mixed in there as well. And it is feeling quite warm. The humidity gradually starts to creep up today, so it is going to be quite sticky by the end of it. Could even see maybe a sunny spell probably towards this evening. Now, if we do, it's likely to spark off maybe 1 or 2 showers as we head into the evening. Maximum temperature warm at 25 Celsius, quite sticky. Now, overnight, if you do have the showers, they will disappear eastwards and take the cloud with it. Bit of a breeze developing overnight, but the air behind this cloud and rain, once it moves out, it's going to be clearer and a bit fresher. Minimum temperature overnight, rather 12 Celsius, 54 degrees in Fahrenheit. Tomorrow it's a dry and sunny start, but the cloud could increase through the day. Still feeling warm though, brisk breeze and a maximum temperature of 23 Celsius. That's your forecast.
Got an amazing email. Hang on. But I'm just replying to an email.
You're not doing it hastily and angrily, are you?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
I've taken out one word. Right. Who's this? The Paul in Stevenage. Right? Talking about the shock collars. Okay.
Right.
Did you really just ask somebody if a shock hurts? A shock? I wonder. Does a shock hurt? Maybe you should try shocking yourself and see. What? I don't get it. Is he saying that shocks don't hurt because they're just shocks, or it's obvious that shock hurts? Because, here's my reply, the censored version. I took some words out. I don't get your point. Shocks can hurt. You know that, right? That's obvious, isn't it? Will be better if you call, but you won't. And he won't. Oh, I'm busy, I'm at work. Oh, yeah, whatever, you're a bottler. I don't get the point. Catherine, can shocks hurt?
Yeah, or they can just give you a jolt.
Yeah, they can be both, can't
So
they? You can be
lasting
like,
damage, I guess.
yeah.
You shocked me this morning. It didn't hurt, but it did
That was a shock
upset me.
That was a shock that didn't hurt, but it upset you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Can we get a shock collar to put it around Kelly and see if that hurts her? I don't get your point, Paul. You're having a pop.
I think Paul just wanted to feel clever and superior for a moment.
You've not, Paul. You've made yourself look silly. Give us a call if you want to make yourself look even sillier. 03459 455 555. You won't. Justin Daly's gonna help me. I make the girl mine, keep her stood in line. Justin Daly's gonna help me. I make the girl mine, wave the victory sign. You all right, Deals?
Geezer, I've got a great idea for you.
Oh,
I've got
go
a
on.
great idea. Now,
Go on,
you've been talking this morning. Oh, I want to get a dog for the kids. What do I get? Etc. Etc.
Well, I want to get a dog just for Christmas, but apparently you're not allowed to do that anymore.
No,
Jeez.
they banned that in the 80s, and it's still banned now. But, boss, what about this for an idea? Okay, J-Dog on the streets with another dog, my mum's dog, the Bichon Poo, dog on the streets this week. What do you reckon?
Dog on dog?
I don't want any dog on dog action.
Come on.
Crying out loud. Yeah, all right. If you want to take your dog to the streets.
Yeah.
It's not just your dog, though. That's kind of your furry half-brother, isn't it?
No. You want to take that to the streets?
Well, listen, I can take him to the streets. You can meet him afterwards. You can work out if this is the dog for you.
That dog
Bichon
is not.
Poo's fantastic. What do you mean that's not?
That dog is...
What?
Paul's replied. Hang on. Sorry if I didn't make myself clear. Shocks hurt. Well, they don't always, Paul. You're not making yourself clear. What, Paul? You've obviously got beef, but you don't know what you got beef about. That's therein lies your problem, Paul. Paul, may I suggest this show's too clever for you? Thanks very much indeed. I'm declaring war, by the way, Justin. I've not mentioned this. I'm declaring war on the moribund. The moribund, the moribund, the moribund, the dry and the insipid. We're taking it down. Here we go. Hang on. Whenever I hear this song in my car, I always get this. This is what pops up in my head. You ready? Justin Daly's gonna help me. I make the girl mine, keep her stood in line. Justin Daly's gonna help me. I make the girl mine, keep her stood in line. I make the girl mine, wave the victory sign every single time.
Now, that would suggest to me that I'm some sort of geezer expert, so I can advise you on how to keep ladies in check.
That's what that would imply, that wouldn't it, Ribena Rosie?
Yeah, indeed.
And Justin Daly is some kind of geezer expert.
Thank you.
Yeah, I spoke to him last week.
Oh, sorry.
They've been seeing each other behind your back.
I was a traitor, and I called him last week when you were off.
It does annoy me when my callers speak to other presenters when they're filling in for me.
I'm sorry about that.
It kind of makes me feel a little bit cheaper. I'm away in 3 weeks' time. No idea who's filling in for me. But will you be calling in then, Rosie?
Oh, definitely not, no.
Thank you very much. That's the way I like it. In fact, it reminds me of, a few little words that go like this. Justin Daly's gonna help me. Wave the girl mine, keep her stood in line. Justin Daly's gonna help me. I make the girl mine, keep her stood in line. I make the girl mine, wave the victory sign. Every single time. Rosie, what would you like to say? You're through to me and the J-Dog.
Yeah, well, I was going to play rock, paper, scissors, and also I was just going to say you can live your whole life with only one kidney.
One kidney and 70 grand.
What's your best price for cash on a kidney, Rosie?
Oh, I don't know. I could really do with a lot of work on the house, so a couple of $100 grand, I reckon, for one of mine.
Get real. There are Sri Lankans selling them for 75,000. Well, they're going to buy yours for a couple of hundred.
Yeah, but I'm very healthy stock, you know.
Oh, mine's 8,500 is my best. Oh, excuse me, hang on. Justin Daly's gonna help me. Make the girl mine, keep her stood in line. All together. Justin Daly's gonna help me. I make the girl mine, keep her stood in line. I make the goggles, I know this bit. I make the girl mine, keep her stood in line. Justin Daly's gonna help me. I make the girl mine, wave the silly line. I make the girl mine, wave the victory sign. Okay, you go. Okay, ready, steady, go, Rosie. 1, 2, 3. What you got?
Scissors.
I got rock, a smash, and scissors. Best of 3.
Is that right, Catherine?
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. What you got?
Paper.
I got scissors.
You did as well.
Last one. 1, 2, 3. What you got?
Rock.
I got paper. That's embarrassing, Rosie. I'm really sorry to hear that. Justin.
Giza.
Dog collars.
Yes.
The game police in the background.
It's like we're going to play that all week, by the way, guys. You wait till we start playing Connect 4 on the air. And we really are. Now, Justin, dog collars.
Yes.
There was the story, the lady saw someone using a shock collar on a dog. She went over, had a word with the woman. She claimed she wasn't confrontational. I picked up a tone in her voice. She grabbed the remote control and threw it in the river. Luckily for the dog, as one tweeter pointed out, it didn't set the collar onto stun continually.
Oh, can you imagine?
The water could have shorted the circuits and they're going like that. You'd have to chuck the dog in, and then it would get an electric shock because of the water thing. You've taken this to the streets, Justin.
I have. I've been asking, did Sian do the right thing by stepping in? And also, dog owners this morning, if they saw somebody else using one of these electric shock collars, would they also get involved? Some interesting views on the streets. Here's what people had to say.
Hang on a minute, that one.
So we're asking this morning what Sian did. Was that the right thing to do?
If I'd have been younger, I'd have done it. Too right. That's cruelty to dogs. You know, dogs are that's man's best friend. They're the closest thing to you. And to do that, you wouldn't shock your grandmother, would you? And let's put a collar on her and shock her up a bit.
Then again, you can't compare a grandmother to a dog, can you?
I can.
Vera, you're out with your dog this morning. We're asking whether Sian was right to do what she did. If you saw somebody with a dog and they were using a shock collar, would you say something?
Yes, I would. I'd really have a go at them.
Why would you do that?
Because they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't. That's cruel, isn't it, to the dogs?
It's not illegal.
No.
It is in Wales, but not here.
No, I don't agree with that at all.
So Sian got involved, and what she did, she took the remote control off the owner and she threw it into the water.
Good.
Did she do the right thing?
Yes, I would have done the same thing if it was by water.
Judith, we're talking about Sian this morning. She took the remote control, she threw it in the water. Did she do the right thing?
Well, according to me, yes.
Why?
Because of the dog. You don't shock dogs.
If you saw somebody right now in this park and they were shocking a dog because they'd done something wrong, would you step in or would you walk on?
I would say something. Yeah, I wouldn't let it go. I can't. I love animals.
So you would be prepared to have a confrontation
Yes,
over these shock collars?
I would. No, I think it's wicked and evil.
Shocking the dog. You have you have such a beautiful turn of phrase.
Well, that's what it is, isn't it? Shocking the dog. You're shocking the dog with an electric shock collar. What else are you doing?
You're making it sound like you're showing it hardcore dognography. Is that the word? Is that the word?
Pornography. If it's an
There we
electric
go.
shock collar, you're shocking the dog.
Here's the thing, Justin. Do you know what the filthiest and I mean filthiest amphibians are in the world?
Go on, boss. Talk
Frogs.
Frogs.
Do you know why?
Go on.
They're always looking at frogs porn. Do you get it?
Yeah, it's
nice, that one, isn't it?
They make their own.
Oh, they do. Okay, let's leave it there because I can feel us getting the sack in the last minute of the. Getting the sack. Then we've done it.
Travel news for beds, cards, and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Well, very slow moving on the A1 heading southbound between the Great North Road and the Black Cat roundabout. Also seeing delays on the A10 southbound between junction 25 for Enfield and the North Circular Road. So far the M25 anti-clockwise, that's queuing from junction 19 at Watford to junction 16 for the M40. Also very heavy anti-clockwise between junction 24 at Potters Bar and junction 23 for the A1M. Take a look in Watford, looking very heavy on Lower High Street just to Eastbury Road. And so far, checking in on the trains, not seeing any problems or delays. I'm Nicola Richards with BBC Three Counties Radio.
Nicola, thank you very much. Thank you for your calls and your texts and your emails. Most of them, not the dumb ones. I am declaring war on the moribund. Why can't I say that? Hang on a second. I'm declaring war on the moribund, the dull and the insipid. Trust me, we got some cracking ideas for this show coming up. Some cracking ideas. Stay tuned.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Ian. Good morning. Welcome to the JVS show. I'm Jonathan Vernon Smith. It's Monday, it's 9 o'clock, and on today's Big Phone